make strong men.
Right.
When we see crap like this, you got to do something, man.
Don't fool yourself. We still in slavery.
We being hanged, we being killed, and they love doing it.
Shalom, 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 Israel. Shalom, 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 shalom. Get my voice going on, right?
Yes,
Shalom,
sir.
Israel. Most High in Christ. Bless you. I'm looking all up. Hey, get me straight on here. I'm not. Am I centered? Come on, let's get this thing together. Shalom, bro. Hey, this is what it's like when it's live, right?
Yes, sir.
Most High in Christ. Bless you, brothers and sisters. Most High in Christ. Bless you. Happy prep day as we prep down towards the Sabbath, and we are in part 3 of our series. Okay, let's get this disclaimer out the way right away so we can get right into the mix.
Israel united in Christ. We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a non-violent Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat as stated in Leviticus chapter 5 and verse 1.
All praise to the Most High. Hey, let's put the thumbnail up there. All praise to the Most High. Let's get the thumbnail up there. Let's get it on the road. Let's get the show on the road, brothers and sisters. We're about to get into it. We're going to 9 o'clock tonight, so we're going to be rolling for a minute. We're going to be rolling. The thumbnail. This is part 3, Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. This is Deuteronomy 28. Evil eyes at each other. Okay, and this is what we really want to talk about. So there's a lot of points that's going to be brought out in this particular episode. Obviously, we're going to deal with the topic about our evil towards each other, but that's going to pretty much come in as near the ending of our program tonight. But in the beginning parts of it, we're going to be dealing with more of the pieces that actually played a part in bringing us to this evil that we have towards each other. That's actually in the scripture too. We're going to read that as well. Okay. Let me ask this question while we're getting ourselves together. How many times do we question ourselves with how did we get into this low level of base behavior? This is a question that we ask ourselves, right? Many people, when we go around the communities, we ask those questions, right? Mm-hmm. And we said, how is it that we've fallen so low? What is it? Is God truly against us? These are things that come up. Mm-hmm. So, before we really dig into it, I'm remiss for not introducing everyone, so let's get it in here. I'm Bishop Yahusat, Most High in Christ, bless you all. Brothers and sisters, glad that you're with us tonight. So come on.
Shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ, bless. Captain Sariah here.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ, bless. Captain Nahshon.
Shalom, Israel. Officer Ehud.
Officer like him. Shalom.
Okay, all praise to the Most High. It looked like our set is a little bit lopsided because Ehud decided to come in at the doggone last second. And he can't. Yeah, I'm gonna put you on blast. You should have been over here. Now we got to tear up the studio, get you over here. Man, well, we ain't gonna do that tonight, bro.
I apologize.
Yeah, I apologize to the people. I don't know your reason for being late. Just cut off from work?
No, sir, it's just traffic.
Oh, what the hell?
Yes, sir.
Leave earlier, brother.
Yes, sir.
No, you stay on the end, man. I was going to try to make some provision, but I ain't doing that. Anyway, let's get on with it. All right. So, like I said, many times we ask the question, and how do we get to this wretched condition? Are we truly inferior? Some people may ask that. Is it really something wrong with us? Why is it that we have all this evil behavior in our community? Why is it that our women are all out of order? The men are out of order. There's fights, black on black violence, all types of stuff. We're going to talk about all those things tonight. Okay, we probably, because it's such a vast subject, it's very hard to really go all down and get every nook and cranny. We could be doing 20 parts just dealing with all of that.
Right.
But we're going to get the gist of it. I'll put it like that, right?
Yes, sir.
So how do we get to this low level of base behavior? That's what I have here. And I said I want to show how easily it's done today. Because I need everybody to put their hats on now. Because in the beginning, it took a lot of work to get us, to break us from what we really were. Now it's just little bits of tiny adjustments to keep us into the craziness. Like I talked about when I was in Ghana, I was making a point about when the colonizers came to the shores of Africa, when they came to the shores of Santo Domingo or Hispaniola, when they came to the shores of every Cuba, Puerto Rico, wherever the conquistadors went, wherever the conquerors went, when they got there, they had to bring brutal, serious war, swords, murder, outright murder. That's what they had to do to us to get us to conform to slavery. They had to outright kill us, outright murder us with terroristic acts and all of that. These things had to be done because we were straight up fighting. So being that that's the case, that's what it took back then. Now that we're already mushed down, we're already broken, all it takes is just a little bit of social engineering to get us to do how they want us to be. And I was making a point about overseas, like when the conquistadors came with the Hispaniola, for an example. They came with give me that scripture. They came with the sword, came with the light and drawn swords. You know what scripture I'm talking about? Look for that one for me real quick. I know I went out of sequence just for a second, but I want to make this point because I want to talk about the churches. I want to mention that. Okay, the rising with the light, something like that. Just give me 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The murderer. They use the word murderer. Just put murderer in there.
Yes, sir.
You found it? The murderer.
Job 24, verse 14.
That might be it. Read that.
Yes, sir. Job chapter 24 and verse 14. The murderer, rising with the light, killeth the poor and needy.
That's what happened. The murderer, the conquistadors, the so-called white man, Esau, rolled up on the shores of Puerto Rico, rolled up on the shores of Hispaniola, rolled up on the shores of Africa, rolled up on the shores everywhere. That's right. Show them pictures. Rolled up on the shores, and they did what? Read it again.
The murderer.
The Bible calls them the murderer. So let's understand who these people are. The murderer. Right. And like I pointed out last week, the same kind of murderous situation was going on in them damn dungeons. Had us in them dungeons, and what did I have on the top of the dungeon? A church. A church on top of a murder scene. The church on top of a crime scene. So this is what you're looking at here. They were doing the same thing. Read it again.
The murderer, rising with the light, killeth the poor and needy.
They rose with the light, meaning the Bible. That's why it said that also. I should have brought that book in. Flaming Resistance. It said that in 1492, the conquistadors came and landed on Boricuan, meaning Puerto Rico. And it said that they brought with them the gun, the sword, and all of that. And they said, let's see if we can pull it up. And I don't know if I gave y'all this page. I just want y'all to read that. Hold on a second. That ain't it. Do I have any other pages? That ain't it. Is there another page? There you go, right up there at the top. Oh, my brothers are on point. Give a shout out to the team, brother. To the team. Got my team rolling now. Okay, read that again.
Yes, sir.
Well, hold. Let's read this. Come on, Lakin.
Yes,
Give
sir.
it to me.
On November 19th.
This is what we were talking about.
On November 19th, 1493, Christopher Columbus and his crew landed on Boricuan.
That's Puerto Rico. That's the original name that the brothers called Puerto Rico. Read.
They brought the gun and the sword, the Christian cross and the Bible.
What the hell? The Christian cross and the Bible and a sword? What's going on here? That's exactly what we just read out of Job. Read the whole thing again. Come on.
On November 19th, 1493, Christopher Columbus and his crew landed on Boricuan. They brought the gun and the sword.
They brought the gun and the sword. Go ahead.
the Christian cross,
They bought the Christian cross.
and the
That
Bible.
cross was that cross was a symbol of capital punishment. They got Negroes walking around with a damn cross on their chest, thinking that got something to do with Jesus. That was basically the electric chair. Let me say that again.
Yeah,
that was basically the gas chamber.
Yeah.
That was what they used. That was a tool for capital punishment.
Right.
That's what it was. Read it again.
Yeah.
On
That's what
November
they
ni-
crucified. They didn't only
Right.
crucify Christ on it.
Yeah.
They crucified the two malefactors beside him. So you
Yeah.
know that's
Right.
what it was, a symbol that was used to crucify their people that,
Right.
that was against them, or that they perceived was against them.
And it's still going into your point, Bishop, how we've been destroyed.
I'm hearing some feedback. Turn all that down. Come on.
Yeah, death penalty.
Yeah.
On November 19th, 1493, Christopher Columbus and his crew landed on Bariquin. They brought the gun and the sword, the Christian cross, and the Bible to the island.
They brought the island to the Bible. They brought the Bible to the island. Boy, I get distracted easily. And that was my phone that was acting up. Read.
Columbus claimed the land for Queen Isabella of Spain. Soon, Spanish conquistadors landed on Bariquin.
Conquistadors coming with a Bible. How does that make sense? So the same thing that was done over here in Boricuan was done in Africa. Was done in Kumasi. Was done in Accra. Was done in Senegal. Was done on the Ivory Coast. All them areas they did that. They did all of that. Hispaniola, Haiti, everywhere that they went. This is what they did.
They said they brought that Bible. They said this Bible works so well. Hey, put the whole church on top of their destruction.
That's what they did. Read.
They brought with them brutality and avarice. Machismo,
Avarice means greed. They were greedy as hell. Go ahead.
machismo, smallpox, and syphilis.
And they bought syphilis. Machismo meaning they had an insatiable appetite for death. That's in the Bible too. They said they increases their desire is hell, and it cannot be satisfied. That's that machismo that we're reading about there. Read on.
Across the Caribbean, Latin America, and what is now California, Arizona, and
So this is
New
talking about in the United States, and Mexico was part of the Israelites' land as well. Talking about some of their aliens.
Right.
Read.
and New Mexico, Spanish conquistadors burned, tortured.
Now remember, they got a Bible now. I want y'all to understand what they're doing. And many people think the Bible was the problem. No, the Bible was not the problem. The damn so-called teacher would taught you lies, just like these churches. They all set up to do the same thing. So basically, what the churches have done, because this is how it started. I want to make sure that I'm staying on point with what I'm saying. What you're looking at is that they brought brutality. Read that thing again. Let's move through this thing kind of quickly.
They
Read it
brought
again
with
at the
them.
top. At the top.
Yes, sir.
On November. Come on.
November 19th, 1493, Christopher Columbus and his crew landed on Bariquin.
Go ahead.
They brought the gun and the sword.
They bought weapons of war. They bought violence. Go ahead.
The Christian
The
cross.
Christian cross for hanging people. Show that picture up there again with what's the brother name?
Atahualpa.
Yes, out the Whopper. Show that again. That's what they were doing. That's what they were doing. They bought the Christian cross. Because this is literally this picture that y'all about to look at is exactly that scene there. And I want you to notice those so-called priests were the Jesuits. That's what I want you to understand. They were a bunch of cruel demons. Go ahead. Go back to the writing. Go back to the book. Come on. Let's move fast. Read.
On November 19th, 1493, Christopher Columbus and his crew landed on Bariquin.
Go ahead.
They brought the gun and the sword.
Go ahead.
The Christian cross.
Meaning the gas chamber, okay? The death chamber, the electric chair. That's basically, just call it that. Read.
And the Bible.
And they brought the Bible also to the island. Go ahead.
to the island.
Read.
Columbus claimed the land for Queen Isabella of Spain.
That ain't in the Bible. The Bible says, "Cursed be he that removeth his neighbor's landmark." So if they had opened up the Bible, they would have all went to jail. Go ahead. They should have went in the damn gas chambers. Read on.
Soon, Spanish conquistadors landed on Bariquin.
So that's letting you know the Bible ain't the problem. It's just your teachers that's teaching you lies are the problem.
Right.
But the reason why I'm reading this, because we're going to finish this, the reason why I'm reading this is because the same dynamic happened all over the planet Earth where our people are. And now, like I said, they brought brutality here. Now all they have to do is make slight little adjustments to maintain slavery. That's the reason why I'm reading this. Okay, read on.
They brought with them brutality
That's
and
so
avarice.
they ain't using brutality now. on you so-called Negroes and Hispanics. They just give you a little bit of Caesar here, a little bit of John 3:16. Where the hell was John 3:16 in this?
Right.
We're reading, where's John 3:16 and what we reading?
Right.
And it was in the Bible. How come they didn't read John 3:16 when they were murdering?
Right.
Go ahead.
Machismo,
Go ahead.
smallpox, and syphilis.
And they brought syphilis to kill off the so-called Indians. Blankets with smallpox and all that. They brought all of that to kill them off. Where was John 3:16 then? Go ahead.
Across the Caribbean, Latin America, and what is now California,
So
Arizona.
they hit all our Latino brothers, so-called Latino. Those are the Israelites.
Right.
Northern Kingdom. They hit all the brothers. Go ahead. Latin America, go ahead.
and New Mexico, Spanish conquistadors burned,
Listen to what they did. Go ahead.
burned,
Burned,
tortured,
tortured,
crucified,
crucified.
and destroyed in their search for gold.
That's what they did in Africa too. That's why that's called the Ivory Coast, meaning the Gold Coast. Everywhere they go, they do the same damn thing. So the brutality is no damn joke, and that's what they did back then. Right now, all I got to do is just subtle adjustments. And we're gonna show you. We're gonna show you how slick it is. Read on.
One Mexican Indian described the Spanish quest as follows. They lifted up the gold as if they
Shrink
were
it a
monkeys.
little bit, because I see it's cutting off on the screen here, at least on my end. Go ahead.
They lifted up the gold as if they were monkeys with expressions of joy.
That's how these so-called white people are. A bunch of wild beasts. But they had an insatiable appetite for gold. There's a reason why this man is so wicked, by the way. A lot of people still can't figure that out. This man is living on borrowed time, so he's going to be as satanic as he can be, because he's not guaranteed to be here forever. So he's going to do all he can do to get the most out of the time limit. The sand is running out of the hourglass. Everlasting life ain't for him.
Right.
So go ahead, read.
As if it were something for which they yearn with a great thirst.
Read.
Their bodies fatten on it, and they hunger violently for
They
it.
hungered violently for the gold. Go ahead.
They killed so many Indians.
They did what?
They killed so many Indians.
So today, they ain't really doing this like this here. I mean, yeah, a lot of our people are still getting killed, but they lying about it. Out right here, they were openly murdering our people for terroristic actions so everybody can see the murder. And the murder acts would be shown to the others to get them in compliance. Keep that word compliance in mind, by the way. To keep them in compliance. Read that again. They killed
so many Indians.
Go ahead.
That it made a river of blood.
That's how many of our brothers that they killed. Go ahead.
And the day became red because of all the blood.
Damn. They became red because of all of the blood. So that's what they did to first break us. To break us, to make us to be willing slaves. So they had to really do some real brute force. Some real brute force to get us down to that point there. Right. So I just want you to understand that that's why they had to put the church on top of the dungeons, because it was the same dynamic here. You basically have the church. They had brought the church over there and was killing our brothers, and they were doing the same, killing our brothers and sisters, because they were killing women, babies, everybody. And they were doing, and we showed those pictures last week. So all of that murder was going on then. Outright murder, same thing that was being done in Africa, same thing that was being done in Haiti. Everywhere they went, they were bringing on this very same cruel, vicious, vile act. But now it's very subtle. Now it's low-keyed. Now it's very subtle. They don't have to really put it out there. They can put on suits and just make some policies that just affect the hell out of you to get you in compliance. That's how they do now. But it's the same thought. I just want everybody to be aware of that. Let's go back to the scriptures. Read that Bible again, where we was at, Job.
Job chapter 24, verse 14. The murderer, rising with the light, killeth the poor and needy.
That's what he did. He came with the Bible. And ain't nothing wrong with the Bible, but the man that had his nasty, mangy, disease, gonorrhea, syphilis-laden hands on the book. That's the problem. Read that again.
The murderer.
The Most High called him the murderer. Go ahead. What did he do?
Rising with the light.
He came on the shores with the Bible. Just like we just read out the history. Go ahead.
Killeth the poor and needy.
And he killed all across all the way to California. That's what he did. Everywhere he went into Africa, he did the same thing. When he went into Cuba, he did the same thing. Everywhere he went, he brought that vicious, straight up, hard in-your-face murder. But like I said, they do it much more subtly now. So again, I'll make this point. I say, how do we get to this low level of base behavior? And I'm going to make the point that I want to show how easily it's done today. Back then, you see, it had to go through it had some real hard warriors, real fighting. But now it's not that way so much. And think about the traumatic physical and psychological journey we went through to bring our behavior to where it is today. So that's what I was making a point. All that torture, all that robbery, all that murder, rape, chopping up, those terroristic actions is what boiled us down to a docile people. But it had to be done with such vicious actions back then. Now that we're all broken, a lot of the manly spirit in our people is pretty gone. And now all it takes, because it's like we're a whole bunch of timid men now. That's how we seem to be. Scared, timid. Okay? Scared, just shaking for any little thing. That's how we are now. So all they have to do is just give little bits of pinch, a little bit of doses just to keep us in. Just stimulate you just a little bit, just in case you forgot, kind of thing. That's how they're doing us now. Okay, give me my video. Social compliance is the experiment. I gave y'all the video. Watch this. We were going to play it a couple of times. Before you hit the button, I want to make sure we get it from the very beginning. I want y'all to pay attention to what y'all about to see. Turn the volume up, because I want them to hear this. And we're going to listen first, and then we're going to come back and comment on it. Come on.
The three people on the left are actors.
Get rid of that.
They've been briefed to stand.
Hold, stop. I want the people to read the words, because we don't always need a disclaimer. That's why I was asking, do we need it? If we don't need it, then don't put it up there. And let me do it this way. Let me just say it this way. If we need it, pop it up there every now and then. It don't have to stay during the whole thing. You feel me? It's just like television programs say this is WAB, whatever, and then, there's station identification. So we don't have to keep it blinding half the information that we want. Start it again.
The three people on the left are actors. They've been briefed to stand or sit when they hear this. Everyone else that's brought in is a genuine shortlisted applicant. They've been given no instructions other than to fill out their forms. My team and I were secretly watching from another room. The more socially compliant a person is, the more they're likely to look to others for signs of how to behave.
This is going to be your spot.
And the more people, the greater the pressure to join in. In this case, whether to stand or sit. Those people that didn't follow the crowd were removed. I think we have to lose Amy, sadly.
Amy, come with me.
Once we had a full house, we got rid of the actors. Leaving us with a room full of compliant people standing up and sitting down, even though nobody told them to do this.
Now, what y'all got to say about that?
Hey, bitch, you seen that? They said I think her name was Amy.
No, don't say. I got that covered. Don't say nothing. Don't even mention Amy. Talk about everything else but Amy. You ain't got nothing to say now?
No, it's just like
leave Amy out. I got Amy right here.
But what you were mentioning earlier about the conditioning?
Yes.
Where they had
the first three were actors.
Yes,
they
sir.
were told to move it. This is basically Pavlov's dog.
Right.
Okay, to salivate at the sound of the bell. That's basically that conditioning. So by them doing that, and then the others come inside the room, they're not connect. They weren't given any instructions at all.
Right.
This shows you how people are influenced. This shows you how societies are influenced. This is how the LGBT community can say we will get your children, because we're going to make it so awkward for you to stand on your own.
And they said that the bigger the number, the
more pressure you feel.
Yep.
This is peer pressure. I'm just showing you. There's so much that comes from this. This is peer pressure. You had your own conviction to what the hell does bell mean? You ain't even ask. Right. You just see everybody doing it, then you figure, well, the three of them looking at me. I better follow them. And you don't even know why. This is how people get in some serious trouble because they don't even know the reason why. Then when you come and ask them, by the way, why did you do that? Because we saw everybody else doing it. That's showing you the slickness how they do things.
Okay. Should I get one scripture?
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, get Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48.
Uh-huh.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies,
Go ahead.
which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed
So that's
thee.
the part I wanted right there. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. When enough of us seen that yoke of iron upon our neck and all of the things that came with it, the killing, the murdering, then you'll start to now you see that video. Now you see that video starting to come place to happen because you don't want that to happen to you. So you will fall into form to what they're talking about. Now you're completely destroyed. So I just wanted to touch on that because I know you wanted to touch on Amy.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Amy. I'm gonna show you something.
Well, just before you get Amy, and you think about it, even with our kids, which is so conformable to following anything, they started young. They ain't even got to fight against the kids. Okay, that's why you see the kids out there, what up? And they out there shooting and killing each other because of what they don't saw on these videos.
Exactly.
Now, I'm going to take it even back. You mentioned sports earlier. It's like Colin Kaepernick. Okay, when they start doing the national anthem and some of the guys kneeling down or whatever, they kneeling down. They ain't standing up and pledging allegiance to the flag and all that. They said, hell with this, you know.
Because it wasn't just him, Cap, that was on the knee.
Exactly, right. It was many other. But then they were singled out, okay, for you know it, they might have been put off the team. Or their contract was sold to somebody else.
Exactly.
Get them out of here.
What they basically did to Colin Kaepernick and the rest of them, they basically put him in the suffocation room and killed him and then brought him in front of the rest of the slaves and said, don't y'all do what these guys did.
Right. Right. Yep, same thing.
All right, what y'all got? Come on, you say you had something, right?
Well, that's the same psychology or the psychological tethering, the way that you would do a dog with a shock collar and then remove the shock collar. And everybody in the world, they already know about that. They see it. They have a 6-foot radius, and then the collar is removed after a certain amount of time with the collar on. They don't go past the 6-foot radius. That's what happened to us on a net.
So the evil that we have towards each other is conditioned. That's the point.
Yes,
I'm gonna get into that. We're gonna bring it up. We're gonna get into all of that. But I just wanted to make that point. We're gonna play the video again because I want to start to break it down. So you still waiting? You came in late, so what you got? Huh?
Can I get a scripture?
Go ahead, man.
Give me Colossians 2 and 8.
Go ahead. You know when you late, you don't get to pull scriptures. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're going to have to wear this one.
All praise.
Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
So one of the tools or instruments they use is sometimes philosophy and vain deceit. That's all going to the same thing, vain deceit. Read.
After the tradition of men.
After the what?
The tradition of men.
Because Esau told, he said, all we have to do is get the majority to do it. And then gradually they're going to start to do this off the tradition. Read.
After the rudiments of the world.
After the rudiments of the world.
And not after Christ.
So even if you have the Bible in your hand, you can still control the masses by what? By the philosophy and vain deceit.
Right. By lying.
And you have the majority.
By lying on the Bible, because the Bible ain't telling our people to do these things. But you're right. You're 100% right. Let's play that video again. And I want to make this point because these experiments, they've been, especially during the 60s. You had the Stanley Milgram's obedient experiment. You also had the Stanford prison experiment. You had a whole lot of experiments. It was more than just 2. It was a few of them.
Skinner bot.
So Skinner bot, all that with B.F. Skinner. A lot of that stuff was about trying to find out how to shape people to make them do what we want to do with very little work on our sides. That's what the meaning from the oppressor. They said, we want to be able to program them to do what we want them to do, and we want to be able to sit back and say, look at what they're doing.
Yes, sir.
Okay? They didn't want to have to fight like they had to do to get us on them ships. Right. You got to think about what kind of war it took to get us on them damn ships. A lot of people don't even look at those kinds of things. And all of the atrocities that we're bringing up pretty much is talking about what was done on this side.
Right.
Go ahead.
No. I was listening to you.
All right. Play the video again. Now we're going to break it down.
The three people on the left are actors. They've been briefed to stand or sit when they hear this. Everyone else that's brought in is a genuine shortlisted applicant.
Now
They've
stop.
been given
So the rest of the people that came in, they were not a part of the experiment. Okay, I just want everybody to know that. The first three, they were told to stand up when the bell ring and sit down when the bell ring. Everybody that came in after that had no part of it. They were real applicants for this, whatever they were applying for. Go ahead.
no instructions other than
They
to
were
fill out
given
their
no.
forms.
They were given no instructions. The only thing they were told to do was fill out forms, just like anybody would do when it comes to an application. So here comes this. This is the first guy that's not connected with the first three. Hit it.
My team and I were secretly watching from another room.
Secretly watching. Secretly watching from another room. That's how Esau does. He watches the Negro. He watches these videos and all that. He watches. He watches the response. Man, I'm telling you, that's how they deal. That's how they deal. With all the little things that they do in a society, it's dry runs that they be doing just to see the reaction of the people. When they put these movies out, that's what it's about, to see how many of them are awake, how many are still asleep, how many of them can recognize what we're doing. Right. And if too many people come out of the movie theater and picked up what the movie was really saying, then these same people that run the system, they say, okay, now we got to go back into the educational system and tweak our books to put the people back to sleep. Right. Go to the pastors to tell some more lies, twist this, twist that, to put the people back to sleep. The whole objective of this whole thing is to keep people in a particular box in their mind where they can't think. Go ahead. Now he looking at it. Just keep it playing. He said, what the hell's going on here? Now, stop.
The more...
Stop. Because he's going to say it. Perry, as you can see, put it on the screen so people can see who he is. Perry is looking at it, and he feels ostracized if he doesn't conform to the other three.
He was annoyed.
That's the pressure. That's the pressure. He's like, wait a minute. I don't even know why I'm doing it, but everybody else is doing it. Now everybody's all eyes on me. Now I feel inadequate. Now I feel like they might see a little blemish here, so I don't want the attention on me. This is crazy. Go ahead.
Now he feel like whatever because they're filling out an application or something.
Right.
Now he maybe if he don't comply, maybe he won't get whatever.
He might not get it.
Right.
But notice he was never told that.
Right.
Go ahead.
The more socially compliant a person is, the more they're likely to look to others for signs of how to behave.
Boom. Stop. Right there. Stop. The more they will look to others to determine how they themselves should behave. If I'm into trying to do the right thing and then I see three people beside me, all they talking about is rape, all they talking about is doing this, doing that, and the more of the people that continue to do that is going to wear on my goodness. And now I feel pressured to join the crowd. That's the same thing, and that's how a lot of people get caught up in the wrong thing. Go ahead.
Your spot.
And the more people, the greater the pressure to join in. In this case, whether to stand or sit. Those people that didn't follow the crowd were removed.
Now, hold it. We're going to back that up. Back it up just a little bit when Amy walks in the room. We're going to watch Amy now. Now, you see there's two more. They end up following the first three. They're already, their whole brain has been shellacked into following whatever these people going to do. Go ahead, play on.
Those people that didn't follow the crowd were removed. I don't get to lose Amy, sadly.
Amy, come with me.
Stop.
Once we had a full...
Stop. Many people probably didn't notice what I noticed about Amy because there's another woman that's there also. Notice that she was already strong in her values. Amy was. Amy did not follow the crowd. let me make this point, 'cause I want to make sure I say all this. I want to hold it up, 'cause everybody at the edge of their seat, they want to know what I'm about to bring up. I say I'm gonna hold it up, so I make sure, because I wrote this. I wanted to get it in. Amy did not follow the crowd. Notice that she was already strong in her values to resist temptation. Now, I'm talking about Esau now. She was strong in her values to resist temptation. Did anybody notice how Amy was dressed? Amy was dressed modestly. White woman. Dressed modestly. The other woman over there, she got some little skimpy short thing on. But my point is, although, like I wrote here, because I wanted to make the point, although she's Esau, she still stood on her conviction in her beliefs. Maybe her parents told her to cover her body.
Right.
And that was enough. Because when a woman walks out here and she's properly covered, she's going to get the first three type of people. The woman is trying, listen to me carefully, the woman that has been taught to dress properly, when she goes out in society, she's the odd one.
Right.
Yes, sir.
She's the oddball. Why you looking like Little House on the Prairie? Or some mess like that. You dig it?
Yes,
and they try to make her feel ostracized.
Right.
But her parentage must have been so good. They'd be like, the hell with all of you. I'm going to stick to this. So when all of y'all standing up, I got enough strength in me to know that I don't have any instructions that told me I should stand. I got the instructions on what to do. Fill out this paperwork and get the job or whatever.
Right. Yep.
So she didn't just follow the crowd. So they said, we got to get rid of Amy. In other words, we got to get rid of people that's not falling for the group thing type of thing, falling for the going along with the crowd, falling with the obedience experiment,
Right.
all of those things. Okay? That's the deal. What? Go ahead. Doc.
They saw Amy get removed.
Right.
So that turned the dial up even
Right.
more for
Right.
the others
Right.
to say,
Right.
well, shoot, I better not do what she
They
just did.
Right.
Make me lock in even more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was coming to that. I'm glad you said it because they said we have to remove her. They were like, oh shit, they removed her.
Mess
In
everybody
other
up.
words, they put her in the damn suffocation room.
Right.
Killed her off.
Get out of here.
They punish her basically for it. So sisters will feel like, you know what? Damn, I better take my damn clothes off. I better just.
Right.
That's the whole point.
Right.
But the sister said, hell no, I'm not doing that.
Say she might
Go
mess
ahead,
around.
brothers.
Say she might mess around and have some impact or influence on the other one. So they definitely had to move. It don't take but one.
Right.
In their minds, which is obviously say a little leaven, the whole lump. We use that, right? Because a little bit of sin come in here and mess up everything. All right, we remove the sin from us, right?
Yes, sir.
But here it is from them. They're using it in their advantage. Well, listen, we got to remove her because she's not going to follow our program. Right. She's not going to continue in what we're trying to project and get across with the rest of them.
Yeah, we're basically Amy, the Israelites.
Right.
They said we need to get rid of because the Israelites ain't just going with the status quo. Let's try to get their women. Let's try to get their men. Yeah. Let's try to get them all. But we constantly go in the other direction. They said, damn, they're not even worshiping what we say. That's the point. What you got, like
This room could be indicative, like you said. This one is remaining unleavened. It may convince or inspire the other ones to get the leaven up out of themselves as well.
Exactly. So they had to get rid of her.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And you had mentioned that the women or the nakedness or the immodesty, this room could be likened to different industries, right? Because this is actors. People say, okay, well, that's actors. I don't act. But you have the music industry. You have
It's all the same thing.
That's
Go
all
ahead.
it. Like,
Go ahead,
what's her name? Glorilla. Glorilla's government name is Gloria Hallelujah. That's her first and last name, but no, we got to portray her as the gorilla, the N-word woman.
Wow.
Conform to not the Lauryn Hill modesty image.
No,
or
we don't want that.
We want to talk about some popping privates and so on and so forth. Because out of a room of 10 female rappers, which one of them is going to keep their clothes on? Which one of them is not going to bow down to what we're trying to push as far as the immodesty and the immorality and the inappropriateness that the other 9 female rappers will obey when the button is hit? They're going to stand up, they're going to sit down, they're going to take it off, they're going to rap about immorality and so forth. Who do we have to get out of here? Like the Lauryn Hills or maybe Rhapsody, for instance, who doesn't conform to that nigga woman portrayal that Esau is trying to push.
Right.
And we have to do the same thing. Thinking about like when we telling our bring our kids out of those schools, because if you leave your kids in there, now they pushing that homosexual agenda, that pride, or the Valentine's Day, birthday parties, Christmas celebrations.
That's what they do. They make your son and daughter sit in a room by themselves, and they feel ostracized again. The whole objective is to get them to be like the first three, standing up, going along with the evil.
If you don't pull them out of there, they're gonna stay right into that mess. So,
that's something else, boy. I tell you.
Heavy.
So what that woman showed, go ahead, we can play the rest of the video, but what that woman showed was that is basically saying that I'm going to stick to what my father and my mother taught me.
Right.
And that's how we got to be. We got to deal with what the Most High taught us, regardless of how much persuasion that they try to put on us.
Follow that Bible.
That's what you put in the group. Follow that Bible. That's the whole point right there.
Hey, can I get something real quick? Get real quick. Get Esther chapter 13 and verse 4, because Bishop said we Amy. Because Amy, from the moment Amy came in,
notice, show it on the screen, because I wanted to see when she was walking away. Back it up so you can see that's clearly obviously ain't got have fringes on it.
Yeah, just put it on the screen.
But just let them people see. Mm-hmm. She'll look nothing like the other woman that was sitting there.
Right.
They had to remove her.
Mm-hmm.
Play it.
Okay.
Once we had a full house.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All the rest of them went
actors.
through the way of Satan. That's basically the wicked seducer.
Right.
What y'all had? You had something, right? Bring out something.
Esther chapter 13 and verse 4.
Read that, 'cause we gonna move on.
Yes,
Esther,
sir.
chapter 13, verse 4.
Uh-huh.
Declared unto us that in all nations throughout the world there was scattered a certain malicious people.
We are those people that scattered all over in these nations. We got to deal with their traditions. We got to deal with all the things that they do. But we have the Bible, and that's what we got to follow. Go ahead.
That had laws contrary to all nations.
That's what you've seen with Amy. She obviously was different from everybody else that was in there. That's us. We are contrary to everybody else that's out here in the world. They celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving. They in the midst of homosexuality, like you mentioned, Cap. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They in the midst of all of this wickedness. But we got to move differently. Go ahead, finish it up.
Well, they had to move her. Now, I'm going to let you finish that. They had to remove her because she's messing up the plans. Right. That's what they said. We have to remove her because the others might catch on. So this is heavy. This daggone experiment, when I saw this thing, I went crazy. I said, damn. Go ahead.
That's why in the scripture it said a certain malicious people.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Because
Amy's malicious.
Right. Right. That's what I was saying.
She's malicious. She's malicious.
Because we're contrary to how they're moving. No, we can't have them continue to do this, because if we let them alone, everybody else will start to follow them. Go ahead.
And continually despise the commandments of kings.
We don't follow. We don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. We don't follow nothing that they got going on. Go ahead.
So as the uniting of our kingdoms, honorably intended by us, cannot
uniting of our kingdom mean make everybody stupid. That's basically it. She was resistant to that. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. That was it. Go ahead.
Let me say this right quick. I'm just going to read some, let Bishop move on. So Matthew 7:13 says, "Enter ye at the straight gate.
Right.
For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. And many there be which go therein at." Okay? Right. Then it says, "Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it."
Right. You hear that? So that's letting you know those few people are the ones that will feel ostracized.
That's Amy.
That's when you're going to have to stand on your own. Mm-hmm. They'll be all looking and saying, listen, 135 of us is doing it. What about you?
Right. Man.
Right.
And then you end up going into that damn thing and be sorry for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Wow.
So I make the point to further say that this society today has been experimenting on social engineering since the inception of this so-called American, because it ain't no such place as America. America is Babylon the Great.
That's right.
But ever since this place was created, so to speak, they have been socially engineering, trying to figure out how to socially engineer its slaves, okay? And the purpose of all of these social experiments, like the ones I was speaking of earlier, the Stanley Milgrams, the Stanford prison experiment, and the Skinner box, all of that, operant conditioning, all of those. And they got another one called behavioral sync. I forgot to bring that one up. Now, I'm going to bring that up probably next week, Lord willing. Okay, but all of these things are social experiments on how they control the minds of the people. Okay, all of this was done for one purpose and one reason. Even though they experiment, they use their own people. The objective, listen to me carefully, because now we're about to get into it. The objective, now we're about to get into the title now. The objective of all of these experiments, even including the one that dealt with Germany, where they had what was called the Nuremberg trial, where they were bringing quote-unquote Nazis and asking them why, or demanding to know why did they quote-unquote put so-called Jews in ovens. And they were saying, well, we were following orders. Yes, when you check that out, that's what they were doing. So they quote-unquote did the Stanley Milgram's obedience based on that. That's what they said it was, but that's bullcrap. Right. The real reason for these experiments is because they want to know how to keep us in slavery. It ain't got nothing to do with no white folks. It's about us, 100% us and nobody else. Wow. The 12 tribes of Israel. The book of Psalms, the 83rd chapter, just tells you straight up what it's about. Okay, so I just wanted to make that point. To keep us in everlasting servitude. Play my next video. Play my next video. This is now, I remember I spoke about this for the last couple of weeks. I actually have longer than the regular clip, but I ain't going to play the whole video. The video is about 30 minutes long, but I'm going to, it's certain sections out of here that I want y'all to hear, because we're going to expound on it. Again, just show, before you play it, just let the people see, because they'll remember when I show this here. Show that. This was about Howard Nicholas that was talking about how they have to keep Africa poor. I want you to understand that the subject matter is not really about Africa per se, even though it is, but it's about everybody, the Israelites that have resources, and whether the resources be mineral resources in the ground like bauxite, gold, silver, diamonds, and all that. It's also talking about our talents as black and Hispanic people in this country. All of those represent resources, and the whole, as he's explaining this, and you think he's just talking about the land and the gold and all that. He's also talking about how we've been thoroughly robbed of our resources and the many things that we come up with and that we don't benefit from. The same way that the so-called Africans are not benefiting, and the brothers and sisters that's over there, that's our people, are not benefiting from those resources. Same thing about us not benefiting from the talents and the resources that we created in the system, the inventions and everything that we did. They knew that we were a marvelous, spectacular, great people. They said we have to get those and then break them down to nothing and take everything from them. That's what this thing is really saying. You got to look deeper than what the video is bringing out. Let's play it. Come on.
Africa, historically, sub-Saharan Africa, has been fundamental to the global prosperity of the advanced countries. Okay? And Africa had a role to play. It has a role as a raw material producer.
Now understand this here. We're gonna go to 2:59, but I'm just letting y'all know the time. So again, like I said, don't get tripped up and just think he's talking about Africa, because many Negroes over here think that we're exonerated from that. No, they mean us specifically. Right. Go ahead, play on.
We will not allow sub-Saharan Africa to escape that.
We will not allow the so-called Negroes to use their talents for themselves. I'm just translating it for you. Go ahead.
Okay, we do everything to keep sub-Saharan Africa where it is.
We do everything to make sure that the Negro will not be able to take the very inventions, the very things that he creates, music, sports, anything that he does, he is not to take any of that and use it for his own self. We will extract all of the resources for what they do and make them work for us. That's exactly what's happening overseas. Same thing. Go ahead.
Impoverished. It's absolutely vital for the prosperity of everyone else. So let's get clear about that. Okay? And this means all the economic structures, all the global institutions, and the economics we teach everyone is all designed to keep Africa exactly where it is. And whether it is Europe or US or now China, it's always the same. We need Africa to be impoverished because we need those raw materials and we need them dirt cheap.
Hit it. We need the resources that the Negro bring to the sports. We need the resources that they bring to music. We need them in everything. The way we dress, the style, everything, because they make money off of every damn thing we do. And we basically don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Can't take care of our own sick. No house, no nothing. But yet all of this talent just flying out of us like it's coming out, like somebody said, liquid money. I remember there was a thing that we had on a class way back where we were referred to as liquid money. Damn. No kind of no reciprocation of our talents or nothing. So don't just think that this is just talking about Africa, sub-Saharan Africa. It's talking about the Israelites. Okay, just want y'all to understand that. Give it the next slide. So you heard what he said. He said that the Africa's role or the Israelites' role. I'm gonna put the word Israel in there because that's what it's talking about. Our role is to supply everybody else's splendor, their splendid living, and to extract the very last bit of resources from us. I remember somebody said, "Go back to Africa." Somebody said, "Are you crazy? What's going to happen to our basketball games? What's going to happen to our music? What's going to happen to where's our singers at? Are you out of your damn mind?" Right. Somebody said that. They said, "Shoot, we need them, man. We just don't want them doing nothing for themselves, but we need them to entertain us."
Right. Yep.
That's the deal. Go ahead. Give me my next part. Find the next piece. You got it? Yes, I see you got it. Hit me. We moving on through.
Okay, so this is what it's fundamentally about. What I want to show you is how these structures are operating. It's just 20 minutes, so we can't do very much, but just to give you a little bit of an idea. And why I keep the ideology part there is because we are part of the producers of ideology.
Pause it. Remember earlier I was saying how they use brute force to get us to rape us of all our resources. Yep. Now they're using ideology, thought, okay, curriculum. And the universities are complicit. That's what this man is going to tell you. This man is talking from an international platform. So he ain't no damn dummy. He's telling you how it really goes down. Okay? So he said all of the teaching institutes, he didn't stutter. He said we teach everybody to have that thought in mind, that it must be about the robbery, the pillaging, the extraction, the exploitation, the extortion of the 12 tribes of Israel. And they said, make no bones, no doubt about it. Because we cannot live the way we want to live if we allow them to produce for their own selves. In other words, it's the haves and the have-nots. That's where he's coming from. Play on. Look, you look like you want to say something.
I'm cooking. I got that script.
You got something for me?
Yes, sir.
What you got for me?
Revelation chapter 18. Because, and you had mentioned, as you had got to that point, the educational system. It went into the commodities. Revelation chapter 18, verse 11. I can read it because it's long. I'll go fast. No?
I guess. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 11.
Yes, sir.
And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her.
So he's saying that there's the other nations, not the children of Israel, can't live how we live unless we oppress the children of Israel. Go ahead.
For no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
Right.
The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood and all manner vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble.
And notice things that are more so known for coming from the continent of Africa, where the other nations have scrambled to take it from. But it mentioned that the merchandise, one of the other merchandise is at the bottom of verse 13.
And cinnamon and odors and ornaments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men.
Slaves and all of their intellectual property and everything that they poured their soul into to produce underneath the captivity, so that the merchants, the ones who deal with Babylon the Great, this is who he's talking about, this main one that they're getting rich off of, that they will cry and mourn for when she is burnt, because they will not be able to be rich off of her anymore. Babylon, the so-called white man in America, had the slaves as a part of the commodities of all of the other things that he had reaped.
Still to this day.
That's letting you know, not just all what you just brought out, because that's exactly what it's saying. We are the gold.
Right.
We are the diamonds. We are the bauxite. The souls of men. What we brought in. That's what it's talking about. So,
I want to back y'all up on that real quick. Go ahead, get Psalms chapter 137 and verse 3. And if y'all can, IT, real quick, look up the word mirth. What is mirth? Look up the word mirth. Go ahead and read that. Psalms chapter 137 and verse 3.
Psalms chapter 137, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
For there they that carried us away captive required of us a song.
So as you know, we were carried away captive. So okay, not only like Bishop brought out, they took all the resources of the land. When that ran out or whatever the case may be, they had to find something else. We was that other resource. Go ahead.
And they that wasted us required of us mirth.
And they that killed us until we were destroyed to conform to their ways, they required of us mirth. What does mirth mean?
Mirth, fun and enjoyment. Mirth is a formal or literary term meaning fun and enjoyment, as shown by laughter.
Okay, so that's fine, but the one I got, it says amusement, especially as expressed in laughter. So not only did they took the gold and the resources, now they use us for their entertainment. Right. Okay, so now they use us for their music, their football, basketball, all of that stuff. So that's what they did to us. They took us into captivity and they made money off of us as slaves, like you mentioned, and also and they had to speed it up. Slavery wasn't working no more. Now entertainment. All right, so that's all I had, Bishop. I just wanted to back y'all up on
you that. read that scripture again. And they that did what?
And they that wasted us.
You know I want that word right there. We going back to this video. I want to start it again from that time that I gave y'all from the beginning, 336. But put the word wasted up there. Let's find a good definition for wasted. They said, and they that wasted us. Let's see what that word actually means. They that wasted us. Let's see. Let's open it up. What does it say? Go ahead.
Wasted. Definition 1. Used or expended carelessly.
That's what they did. Wow. They stripped us of everything and basically left us as a carcass. So again, they stripped all our talents. That's what it means to waste us. They stripped us, squandered us, misspent, okay, misdirected, misused, dissipated. Look at that point. They see it on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Unnecessary. Look at not needed, blown. But look, read that again, the number 1.
Number 1, used or expended carelessly.
Expended carelessly, meaning they didn't give a damn about how they took our resources and basically left the shell of us, and that's what they call the Negro. Right. The Negro is the remains of the greatness that was stripped from us.
Wow.
Wasted us.
I know you want to watch this, but I have a video, Bishop, that's going into that. But if you want to continue on this,
I got to finish this.
Okay, yes, sir.
But don't lose that.
We can get it later.
What you got? No, we get it now. Get it now. We come back to this.
All right, so it's a video I posted on there.
We're going to come back to it, because I got to get these points in.
Yes,
come on, get it.
The video I posted on there, it's all the way at the bottom. I think it's right above Captain Sarai's video. Yeah, go ahead and play this real quick. This is going into showing you what they done to us, how they used us, wasted us. And they had no care for the old or young. It doesn't matter. This is going into Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 32 as well.
There you go.
Go ahead. Play this.
Look at the legs, Caroline. Like tree trunks. Feel the muscles. Come on, she won't bite.
Pause it. This is Columbine right there. Columbine, the NFL, when they look at all the players and all of that, they examine them. That's what he doing with her. Look at her thighs. Look how strong she is.
Tree trunks.
Tree trunks. Yeah, right.
Combine.
Well, you know what I mean. I ain't like you. Go ahead.
But no thought to her mind.
Right.
No thought to her spirit. No thought to the people that she belonged to.
Right.
No care that she might have been. She was perhaps a mother. Got children, a husband. Got a family. The hell with all that. They boil her down to a piece of meat.
Oh, she got children, Bishop. They gonna show you.
Damn.
She got kids. Go ahead, play on.
Why you putting silk stockings over these, Caroline?
That's her daughter right there.
England that say it should be done.
And they talk about a mother like that. Imagine, hold it. Imagine what that does to a child hearing them talk about their mother like that. Go ahead.
Knowing that the mother can't
and just think about it. Go ahead.
Knowing that the mother can't do anything, absolutely nothing. She's just in full subjection to whatever this devil want to do to her.
Now, understand that was during the time of hardcore slavery and whippings and all that. But again, like I was saying before, they were using brute force to get us to do that.
Yes, sir.
Now the daughters look at their mothers shaking their ass all over the screen. Look,
exactly.
it just shows you.
Yeah.
They no whippings, no nothing. Just some little bit of I forget what they call that thing when people just follow conditioning and all that. A little bit of
Peer pressure or
peer pressure, but I forget the word for
influence.
it. Well, the influence, all those things. How they get them to just follow the crowd, and no real work. Like Amy walked away. None of those people were made to sit there and stand up and all that, but they just blindly just followed it. That's what we do today. But back then it was used for real brute force. Now all they got to do is just make little tiny adjustments, ring a bell or something, and we just all follow. That's how messed up it is.
Say, ring the bell.
You ring the bell and boom. Go ahead.
Don't boil the frog there, right?
There's more, right?
Yes, sir.
Go
Yes,
ahead. Play on.
Oh, but look how adorable the little one is.
Well, bring her then if you like.
What?
no care.
Of course, if she amuses you, she's my property. She'll be taken from the mother soon enough anyway. It will encourage her to have another. They are dreadful mothers, these Negroes.
That's that wasted. What was the words?
They that wasted us.
That's that wasted right there. The words that I forgot the words that was.
Read it.
For there,
No, not the scripture. The definition.
Right.
There was words that
right.
Bishop was reading in there.
Right. Expended carelessly.
There you go.
Extravagantly.
There you go. Expended carelessly.
Or to no purpose.
Right.
She's
wasted few. We wasted. Go ahead.
Right. She's my property. Yeah. I can do whatever I want.
The hell what she thinks.
Right. This would encourage her to make more kids, more slaves, more property. Go ahead. All right. Go ahead to the video.
That's why they were bleeding.
Us. We're going market. Well, I suppose if I am to stay on this island, I could train her to be my lady's maid.
They aren't very bright, you realise.
She's my son. No. Yes, I'll take her.
Right.
No, Master, she's too smart.
Quiet.
No, mercy, Master, please, Master, no. Master, no, please. Please, Master, no.
Hey, we all
she's too smart. Master, please.
Hey, get that in the Bible. There's more on that?
That's it. Bishop.
Get that in the Bible. 32. Deuteronomy 28:32.
Yes, sir.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Go ahead.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
The Bible is a true book. The Bible is talking about the Israelites. That woman ain't never going to see her son or daughter ever again. Okay? That's us. Go ahead. That was it, right?
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
There was nothing this woman could do to stop that from happening. Tears, nothing.
That's the worst.
And you can tell that she's witnessed this many a times because imagine your son or your daughter's being taken away. What would you do? You will fight. You will fight to the death for her. But she had to she knew what would happen if she tried to fight. That's that conditioning right there.
Exactly. And they'll destroy her in front of the rest of them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
In front of the daughter.
That's that whistling, that bell ringing again. Yes, sir. That's how they do. Now it's just a bell. Back then it was death.
Right. All right, so we can move forward.
Go ahead. Where we at? Go there. Let's get back to this here. Play that again.
Okay, so this is what it's fundamentally about. What I want to show you is how these structures are operating. It's just 20 minutes, so we can't do very much, but just to give you a little bit of an idea. And why I keep the ideology part there is because we are part of the producers of ideology. At universities and academic institutions, we are complicit in this whole enterprise.
Did you hear what he said? He said that the universities and the colleges and all that, they are complicit, meaning that they shape the mind of the thinkers today. Let me drop something on you that I ain't mentioned in a while. I remember when I was in New York, there was a program called Night Talk with Bob Lord, a brother named Bob Lord. He used to come on the AM radio late at night. And one particular night I caught it. And they were talking about, I don't know if it was a recording or whatever, but they were talking about Harvard. And they said that Harvard was celebrating its 150th year of shaping America. They were very clear in how they said that. They didn't say about educating. They said shaping America. I mean, this is what was said. And then you listen to that and you say, damn, they understood that the role of an institution is to shape how one thinks. Irregardless of what you were when you came into Harvard or any of these institutions, the job of the institution is to shape you, to make you, quote-unquote, Harvard graduates. Yep. When you come out with a Harvard mentality, you come out with a Yale mentality, forget about what you were. Whatever culture that you brought in, all that's going to get washed out. Your whole mind is going to get changed to think the way we need you to think. That's what this man is saying. And they're going to train them to look at forget about what you think you know. They all are complicit in making sure that the Israelites stay dominated. Period. That's what this, play it again. Play it again. Listen to what he said. 336. Go ahead.
Fight.
That's good, right there. Go. Listen.
Okay, so this is what it's fundamentally about. What I want to show you is how these structures are operating. It's just 20 minutes, so we can't do very much, but just to give you a little bit of an idea. And why I keep the ideology part there is because we are part of the producers of ideology.
We are part of the producers of how people think. Meaning the institutions. Play on, you're going to 426, right? Yeah. Go ahead.
Universities and academic institutions.
He's naming them. He named them. He said, back it up a few seconds. Listen to what he's saying. I know I'm cutting it in, but I want to make sure y'all get my points. Read. Play it.
Ideology. At universities and academic institutions, we are complicit in this whole enterprise. Okay, so the job of many Western academics is to convince Africans they have to keep doing what they're doing.
Damn.
Okay, and to show them it's your fault that you're poor. It's not our fault. It's your fault that you're poor. You know. So this is what we do in academic institutions, and I want to show that as well.
That's
to
it.
Start.
Yeah, stay with my times. Did y'all hear that? That's what that man was saying about Harvard. It's the exact same thing. Damn. Go to my next clip. So basically, your academic institutions are complicit. And there's a lot of uproar going on campuses now. You know, I wanted to talk about that too, but I ain't got the room to bring it in on this episode. You know I want to talk about that. Yeah. All that craziness that's going on with the protests that's going on all over. So we're going to talk about that next week, Lord willing, because I know it's still going to be going on. I just want people to realize that history does repeat itself in certain instances. Like what you see going on these campuses, I'm going to just quickly say this, that is no different from the times of Kent State University in the 1970s. It was the same kind of situation going on. It was over war. It was over the Vietnam War, and the people were against it. And basically, just like you see now, they got riot police and everything going up in there. That's the exact same thing that happened back then. And 4 of them lay dead because somebody, quote-unquote, threw a rock. Now, I heard on one of the reports that somebody took a water bottle, put cement in it, and threw that as a projectile. So you're going to hear that come up again. Somehow the rock going to hit somebody. Somebody's going to mistake it for a weapon, and then it's going to become just like before. The whole objective is to quell people from thinking. And that's the reason why they're trying to get rid of TikTok, because TikTok and some of these journalists, I mean, when you really think about it, like the Panama Deception, like that video when you go watch the Panama Deception, the press was managed when they got down there because the objective is, yes, we're the devil, yes, we're destroying, we're killing, we're murdering, but we don't need you taking the film from here and showing the people what we're doing. Right. That's exactly what TikTok did. TikTok did that and show how they were blowing those people up. Yeah. All that stuff that was going on, I ain't really trying to sympathize with that because it's our people that we're concerned with. But I'm making the point how they frame people's thinking, and whenever people get too much outside of the box, Amy, we got to remove you. Right. Okay, right. Basically, we got to remove you. Now we got to get rid of TikTok because you're going against the plans. This is all orchestrated in academia. Okay, play. Come on.
Just to have a look at one very important additional statistic with all this export coming from sub-Saharan Africa.
Stop. Remember I was talking about earlier, all this export we are exploiting our talents.
Right.
Come on, Captain.
Yeah.
We are exploiting.
Yeah.
You cannot go to a football game and don't see a whole bunch of spots running on the gridiron.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say it that way. But my point is, we blacker than black. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm blacker than black. It's black all over the damn place.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah.
But they don't want him to actually own the team. They don't want him to set up any kind of infrastructure to have their own league. Like there used to be a part where we used to have our own league. They said, well, let's get rid of that. Just like Black Wall Street, let's get rid of that. Yep. Start the so-called integration stuff, and we just gave it all up because we were not educated to think on the level of keeping the things and making things work for us. That's because of our education or the miseducation of the Negro.
Right. Yes, sir.
You understand? Right. So it's the same dynamic that's going on. Yes, hit it.
How much does sub-Saharan Africa account for in terms of global trade value? We know there are vast resources coming from there, but look at the bottom line in terms of global trade value. Look at that. 0.5%, 1975, 0.95%, going down to 0.1.
So what he's explaining is because people might not understand what he's talking about manufacturing now. Manufacturing or being able to build your own infrastructure. In other words, take your resources and make it work for you.
Right.
So the point that he's further bringing out is not so much about our talents. It's what are we able to do with our talents? In other words, we're being used or wasted, and our talents are not serving our purpose.
Right.
They're saying that's what they want.
Right.
So the objective is for us to take our talents and make them work for us. That's why Gaddafi got killed.
Right.
Okay, Gaddafi. That's why they got rid of him because he was talking about that. And the rest of the so-called rogue leaders, because they were talking about taking their resources and making it work for their people. They said, "Well, that's not what we teach over here." Boom. Put some stupidness on TV. Oh, they're bad men, they're rogue men, they're evil, this and that and the other. And next thing you know, it's a damn war.
Right.
That's how they do.
And Bishop, you can tell he the devil because you gotta listen to the words he used. Because he didn't say anything about the resources losing value. He said the trade value.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, I know you got diamonds and bauxite, all these rich resources, but I'm going to control how much it's worth.
That's what he's saying.
When you try to spread it out to the
That's
other
the point.
nations.
Now play it. Where you at? Back it up just a little bit. Let's get them points. I know we're stopping it a lot.
Look at that. 0.5%, 1975, 0.95%, going down to 0.1. To 0.1. Meaning that with all these vast resources being produced...
Stop. With all of the great talent that we produce. I ain't even talking about the land no more. I'm talking about us. Right. All of the talents, all of the great inventions, all of the styles, everything that we do, play on.
How much are they getting for it?
What are we getting for it? That's what he said. Back that up. Get that statement. He said, what are we getting for it? What is Africa getting for their gold? What is Puerto Rico? What is Santo Domingo? What is Haiti? What are they getting for the resources that's being sucked out of there? They're getting absolutely nothing. Ghana, nothing. That's what they're saying. And we ain't no different because they're extracting and wasting us, taking away everything that comes from us. And they said the richest place to be is the ghetto. That's the reason why the stores are there. They said that's where you want to set up. You want to set your stores up there because they got liquid money. And they got no hope. That's a perfect combination for us to take the money when the sun goes down and go build up our places. Go ahead. Play it.
9.5% going down to 0.1. To 0.1. Meaning that with all these vast resources being produced, how much are they getting for it? Nothing. Nothing. This is a very significant piece of data.
He said we ain't getting nothing for our resources.
I just want to show you what has happened to sub-Saharan Africa, because what we know, and from all studies, no country ever develops without manufacturing.
Stop. We're going to 722 now. Notice what he said. So it's not so much about the resources. It's about what you're able to do with those resources, like manufacturing. Like when you watch that documentary called The End of Poverty, they literally forbid the people to manufacture or what's the word? I think I said it right? To manufacture or refine, to refine their own resources, because that would mean that they can keep the money for themselves. They said, we can't do that. We got to sell you back your stuff at a price that we're setting, and if you can't make the payment that we set, then the IMF and the other MFers gonna get involved and make sure that the loan go out, and you have to pay for that with the loan. And if you can't pay it, you're in debt and you owe us. And if you owe us, that means you got to allow us, like the dude Perkins said, you owe us a pound of flesh. Wow. So that means you have to allow us to bring in our lesbians, to bring in our religion, to bring in the different things because you owe us.
All right.
That's how they do it.
Damn.
That's what he's saying. He said we can never let that go. That's how they talk. And the institutions reflect that. The religion reflect that. The regular educational system, the lies and history, everything, the music, everything reflects that.
Democracy.
Democracy all reflects that. Back that up a little bit, and we're going to let that play out. And then we move to my next point. Come on.
Sub-Saharan Africa, because what we know, and from all studies, no country ever develops without manufacturing. Okay, producing raw materials will not take you anywhere. Producing basic agricultural goods will not take you anywhere.
Did y'all get that? So just the mere production of gold, bauxite, and all of that, they say, well, you can't do nothing with it. They actually talk like that. You had the so-called Jews, I remember when they were going into Gaza, and they basically was taking over people's houses. They said, well, if I don't take it, somebody else gonna take it, because you ain't gonna be able to do nothing with it.
Right.
That's their mentality.
Just convince them.
Huh?
It's just coercion.
Man, I tell you, that's how these people think. They say, what you gonna do with this gold? That's how they talk. We ain't gonna let you manufacture it. What you gonna do with this bauxite? Yeah, the world needs it. What you gonna do with these diamonds? What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do with these bananas? You ain't gonna sell it, we ain't gonna let you sell it. So you might as well let us take it.
Bam.
And then we'll give some back to you, although you can't pay for it. So you gotta take a loan to make up the difference. Right. And you are in automatic debt to us.
Hey, Bishop, can I bring out the scripture? Because what you just said, Deuteronomy 28:33 says the same thing.
Come on with it.
Bring that thing up.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors.
And all thy what?
All thy labors.
Everything you produce, read.
Shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up.
Shall another nation profit off of. Shall another nation manufacture. Even though you have all these things. Another nation.
And they need it from us.
And they need it.
They need it. They said that if we don't get it, we go to hell. That's what we would say. He said that our lives depend on you. So you would think, yeah, they depend on us. They depend on us. And they rob the hell out of you and your mama, the dog, the veterinary, everybody. Right. Go ahead, man.
Finish it.
And thou shalt be only oppressed.
So even though you have all the resources, even though you have every raw material in your land,
yeah,
and crushed always.
You should only be what?
That's it.
And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
That's it.
Damn. That's the deal, right? That's why the scriptures say, the stranger that is within thee. Read that scripture. Where that one at? The stranger that is within thee.
43.
Shit, yes. Read
43.
That. Listen.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
Very, very high. Very high.
Yeah, say high.
Your dollar, hey, I think Sierra, the dollars in Sierra Leone is like 20, what did it say? It take 22 Sierra Leone leones. That's the money over there. Leones to equal $1 US. Wow. Who set that up? The other MFers, the IMF. They set that up. They're the ones that determine. They're the ones that determine the price and the value of your money. But at the same time, the resources and everything that they take from you is priceless. But they tell you it's worth nothing.
That's crazy.
That's how they deal. That's what's going on. I told you. Some crazy stuff here. Is there more on that?
Yes, sir. And thou shalt come down very low.
And thou shalt come down very low. $22 to every dollar of theirs. And he's a damn stranger. What the hell are they doing in our land?
Your trade value
Your
is
trade
0.3.
value is 0.3. Stuff like that. But yet the planet Earth needs it. Lord have mercy. If these people ain't the devil, there is no devil. That's all I got to say.
Right.
I had to say that. Got to get one in there. Let's go back to the video. Did we start it yet? No, we're about to start it now, right? Hit me.
This is deliberate
Oh.
because we will never, as Western economists, as Western policymakers, we cannot afford to allow Africa to industrialize and start producing manufactures.
Did you hear that?
So we will do.
Did you hear that? That's the reason why black businesses can't get no damn loan. We don't need you manufacturing. We don't need you setting up companies.
Right.
Are you kidding? It's the same stuff. But you can work for us. You can give us your time. We'll make the shirts. We'll make the pants. We'll make the this. We'll make the that. But you can't produce that.
Right.
You can't make that. What? Talking about giving your people a job? Are you kidding? Giving your people jobs? No. They showed you that at Black Wall Street. You're not going to convince me that a bunch of hillbillies destroyed Black Wall Street. Or Tulsa, the Tulsa massacre. That was government issued.
Right.
That was government issued.
Right.
So just the bottom line is that we need the Most High to step in with the angels to kill these people so we can get the hell out of this captivity.
That's right.
That's the day we're waiting on. I'm just putting that out there. But
That's
I got
right.
some good news for you as we keep on reading. Let's is that it on it? There's more on it, right? Okay. What did that might have been at play. Let me see what it say.
Do everything to stop that.
We will do you got to play that. Go back a few seconds. Let's get them statements. And then I'm done with this video. I'm done with this video after this. Go ahead.
Afford to allow Africa to industrialize and start producing manufactures. Okay, so we will do everything to stop that.
We will do everything to stop that. That's heavy, ain't it? Give me my book. And that's exactly how these people think. Here we go. Talk about college institutions. Now, this is going back. Carter G. Woodson, The Miseducation of the Negro. Now, we just saw what Nicholas, what's his name? Howard Nicholas said, the internationally acclaimed economist of the damn planet, basically. He can get up there and say all kind of stuff. And that's recent. That's recent. But let's delve into what my brother said, Carter G. Woodson. Let's see if this thing is it perpetual. Let's see if it goes back. Let's see how far this thinking goes. Come on. See the book. Did we show the book?
Yes, sir.
The education. Show the cover again. Show the cover again just real quick. The Miseducation of the Negro. Now notice the picture. I always like to make reference to this picture with that chain and that lock around that sister's head. Because that's the sister and that'd be the brother as well. This is basically cloning Tyrone. They just locked our brain where our brain cannot function to do for whatever resource that we have. They don't want us to use it for ourselves. This picture depicts a wasted person. We want their resources, but we don't want them to think for themselves. Right. That's what that illustrates. Okay, let's go inside the book.
So that goes back to Deuteronomy 28:48,
yes,
which you read earlier.
Right.
Okay. Yokes of iron taken off our necks, but they're around our heads, around our minds.
That's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. Come on, Lycan, what do we got?
Chapter
the failure to learn to make a living. I mean, even that statement, because making a living is not the same thing as teaching me how to live. Two totally different things.
Right.
You just join the rat race and just be talking about I'm part of the economic system. Meanwhile, you don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. When you know how to live, you know how to organize and do things to make your whole society viable.
Right.
Let me just put it a different way. Esau is living. Esau is alive, and we're just learning how to make a living. Consumers.
Right.
Okay. Let's read. The greatest.
Chapter 5, the failure to learn to make a living. The greatest indictment of such education as Negroes have received, however, is that they have thereby learned little as to making a living. The first is essential in civilization. Rural Negroes have always known something about agriculture.
You notice that we've known always something about the ground.
Right.
Go ahead.
And in a country where land is abundant, they have been able to make some sort of living on the soil, even though they have not always employed scientific methods of farming.
In other words, we are resourceful. We know how to do things. Go ahead.
In industry where the competition is keener, however, what the Negro has learned in school
what the Negro has learned in school, come on,
has had little bearing on the situation, as pointed out above.
Read.
In business, the role of education as a factor in the uplift of the Negro has been still less significant.
Meaning it ain't doing a damn thing for us. All this college stuff that we doing, we still cannot do nothing for our people.
Right.
Could you imagine that all the sick and homeless and the different and the destroyed people we have among us? Where is the black philanthropic centers to take care of our sick? That's an example. Go ahead.
The Negroes of today are unable to employ one another.
That's the point. That's back then, but that's still the point right now.
Yes, sir.
But that man said that we will never allow them to have enough infrastructure where they can employ one another. People talking about some of this book is outdated. You outdated. Your brain is outdated.
Right.
Read.
And the whites are inclined to call on Negroes only when workers of their own race have been taken care of.
You see that? After they done took care of all, this, then they'll call us in and only give us a job.
Right.
Go ahead.
For the solution of this problem, the miseducated Negro has offered no remedy whatever.
Whatsoever. We can't figure out what to do to get out of this mess, the Negro, because he's been educated to not come up with a remedy. Right. Go ahead.
What Negroes are now being taught does not bring their minds into harmony with life as they must face it.
As we must face it. In other words, intelligence should tell you how to organize. That's what they're saying. When we look at the conditions of our nation, there's something that should go off in us that's supposed to educate and communicate and bring about a level of organization and communication where we can build for ourselves. And I'm going to say this here too. Whenever it comes to a point where you're trying to build for yourself, I'm going to say it plain. And I talked about this during this video called A Time to Kill. I know a lot of people got nervous about when I did that video, but I'm going to say it.
That's when you had the black shirt on.
Yes, when I had the black shirt on. Yes, so I'm a little calmer now. When I put that black shirt on, you know you're going to get it. But my point is, here we are, we're trying to do and build for us. Okay? There's a time of peace and a time for war. When we're trying to build for us, and if there's any force that's trying to stop us from building for ourselves, that's the time to go to war. Right. You understand? Because what else is my life for? If I can't build and do something for my own, and you're stopping me, and you're physically trying to stop me, that's the time for me, just like you said, to do whatever it takes to make sure that I can do the things for my people and for my family.
That's right.
That's intelligent.
Right.
Go ahead. Read on.
When a Negro student works his way through college by polishing shoes, he does...
Listen. This now we're getting ready to get good. I still ain't even dealt with the black on black. Like I said, we're going to 9 o'clock, so we got a little bit. Read that again. Back up. Let's get them statements.
When a Negro student works his way through college by polishing shoes, he does not think of making a special study of the science underlying the production and distribution of leather.
Production and distribution means manufacturing. Esau said, I'm not letting you do that. His education makes him not even think about that. He paid his way through college by polishing shoes. Now notice what it's saying here. Read that again. He does not think of making a special study
of the science underlying the production and distribution of leather.
Leather deals with shoes. Go ahead.
And its products that he may have someday figure in this space, in this sphere.
In this sphere, meaning that if you're dealing with shoes, there's a whole world of information that deals with how you could turn that shoe shine thing into millions of dollars.
Right.
But he's not educated to think that way. Watch this. Keep reading.
The Negro boy sent to college by a mechanic seldom dreams of learning mechanical engineering to build upon the foundation of his father
That's
laid.
The point right there, to build upon the foundation that his father laid. I want that part to sink in. All of this sophisticated college stuff, and don't get me wrong, you'll know that we always advocate our brothers and sisters to go to school. But the point is, when you get the education, learn how to use that education to not only benefit you, but to benefit your people.
Right.
That's the point. Yeah. Read that statement again.
The Negro boy sent to college by a mechanic seldom dreams of learning mechanical engineering to build upon the foundation his father has laid.
His father just understood, just the regular in the garage type of stuff. But the son went to school. He should be able to come back and say, Dad, we ain't got to work hard like this. Let's get 40 garages. Let's do this. Because he learned a whole level of business. He learned a whole lot in college. Dad, you ain't got to do that no more. Right. We're going to take what you gave me the foundation to take this. I took it and learned this. Now we're getting ready to build a super big thing. That's how that's supposed to go. Negro don't learn nothing about that at all. Right. Go ahead.
That in years to come, he may figure as a contractor or a consulting engineer.
That's what you would hope that he would do, but his education ain't teaching him that. Them global institutions, like that man just said, they ain't teaching you that. Go ahead.
The Negro girl who goes to college hardly wants to return to her mother if she is a washerwoman.
Listen good.
But this girl should come back with sufficient knowledge of physics and chemistry and business administration to use her mother's work as a nucleus for a modern steam laundry.
You see that? You see that?
Yes.
That's what she's supposed to be able to do. So, Mama, you did great. Right. Dad, you did great. But I went off to college and I got this education. I'm going to take what you started and I'm going to build. Okay, the car ain't got no seatbelts in it now. Right. But I'm going to show you. You're going to put seatbelts in it, radio, air conditioning. I'm going to show you how to take what you started with 4 wheels and a chassis, and we got ready to make some money because I've learned some big stuff on how to expand on the foundation by which you left. We don't think that way. Go on. It gets better. Watch this.
A white professor.
Hold it. Wait a minute now. Hold it. This is going to shock. This is going to blow your socks off. Listen to this here. Watch. Listen. Read. Come on.
A white professor.
A white professor, go ahead.
Of a university recently resigned his position to become rich by running a laundry for Negroes in a southern city.
He left it. He said, you Negroes can talk about this college jazz, but the business is in the nigger neighborhood. That's what he's saying. I hate to use that term, because that's how he's thinking. He said, listen, let me go where the black people are and build a damn laundry and get rich. The hell with the tenure. Read that again. The white professor.
A white professor of a university recently resigned his position.
He left the prestigious college that a Negro is clamoring. Don't ever want to graduate. He just want to be there forever.
Right.
He left the daggone thing and to do what?
To become rich.
To become rich. Where?
By running a laundry for Negroes in a southern city.
In a Negro neighborhood, he became rich. Why is that the black woman couldn't have done it, the black man, why they couldn't do it? Because their mind is not on that level to even think that way. Right. Why? Because the institution shaped the Negro to be a worker only.
Yep, exactly.
To produce the raw material so that we can go and build on top of you. But we need you to keep producing Negroes. That's how they think.
And Bishop, that's how you know we wasn't taught to think like that, because a laundromat is nothing. It's just a bunch of machines. All he got to do is go in there, probably clean up, maybe look at it every once in a while. He ain't got to do nothing. Why can't we do that?
Right. But the man said he became rich.
Right. That's the...
They're dropping change in the
ching. Big damn dollars.
Wow.
And Northern Kingdom be deep in those things.
Hell yeah.
Especially in the neighborhood I live in.
Yeah.
Deep in those laundromats.
Yeah, they're a little better off than us. But the so-called Negro, Lord have mercy.
We won't come together for that.
Come on, read the rest of that thing.
A Negro college instructor would have...
Go ahead, listen to this. Go ahead, read.
A Negro college instructor would have considered such a suggestion an insult.
What? Me go work with a damn coin and laundry in a black
Washing
neighborhood?
clothes?
Why would I do that?
Leave that to Moab is probably.
He considered that an insult. Why? Because he was trained to think that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Read that again.
A Negro college instructor would have considered such a suggestion an insult.
So he's a college instructor. That means a whole lot. When he leaves with that college instructor salary, he gonna go to white bank, get white loan on a car from a white dealer, buy his house from white folks, and pay out his ass to keep it, so that he can live among the white folks. Because they're going to charge him more on everything.
Exactly. Chasing
So
the
he'd
zone.
rather do that rather than to say the hell with it. Let me go and do something with my own people. But we're trained to hate each other. White folks know that. We don't trust each other. We won't build with each other. We won't do anything with each other. And the institutions have guaranteed that kind of psychology in us. So they know that. Our eyes are evil towards each other. We won't think to work together. And they know this.
Right.
And destroying us, that's what they have. That was part of their curriculum, you know, lack of better words.
And that Negro instructor was going to wash his clothes at that former
Same,
white
right,
instructor.
exactly. He considered that an insult to go do the same thing. That's crazy. Wow. Go ahead.
The so-called education of Negro college graduates leads them to throw away opportunities which they have, and to go in quest of those which they do not find.
Do you see that? They go in quest of those which they do not find. They're trying to in quest and search for opportunities that they will not get in a white world. That's what they're saying. We throw away the opportunities to do something for us. That's what that last statement is saying. I want you to look at that thing good. The so-called education of Negro college graduates leads them to throw away opportunities like the white dude did. They didn't want to deal with that. They didn't want to deal with the washerwoman, the mechanic that came back into the. They said, no, that's the opportunity that we don't want. So they throw away that opportunity, and it said which they have, and instead of that, they will go in quest of those quote unquote opportunities which they will never find in white America. That's what Nicholas just told you. We never allow you to build anything. Wow. So there you go. Some heavy stuff there, right? Yeah. What y'all got to say about that?
Because we really don't think that way. No. Just because mama was a washerwoman, okay, she washed clothes, but the TV tell me to do something different and follow your dreams and all of that stuff. Do something different, be different. But one washes clothes, that child that came from that washerwoman could then learn the engineering behind the washing machine. And then her daughter could open up a chain of laundries.
Exactly.
And so on and so forth.
But
you
like
notice, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Now, if you notice, when a lot of times these cleaners, you'll see the family in there, the all-white family, or Moab in there. Yep. You know, they might hire a few people, but they ain't gonna get those results like the family will. You know what I'm saying? They keep within the family just to kind of make it look bad, and even bring up. They might hire a black person and just get more black people to come over there. Yeah, come on by here. Yep. You know, but you ain't gonna get the benefits of that. We run this. We run this.
Okay. All right. So now we're gonna shift gears a little bit. Like I said, we're getting ready to get more into the topic. Put the title up there again. The thumbnail. Show that again. Okay. Deuteronomy 20th chapter. Evil eyes at each other. Now we're getting ready to get deeper into it now. And remember the question that I asked in the beginning. I was making a point that that there was the trauma and the real evil that was done to us that bent us to make us all of what we just read. That came through brute force. So it's not like that just happened to us. You understand? Right. There was trauma. There was infliction of violence and all that caused us to be exactly that terrible state that we were just reading about. We don't invest in each other and all that. All that was a result of violence. Okay, let's read something. Let's go into my book. The next book. Come on, Lockheed. I got you on now.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
They stole it, but you must return it.
This is a book that I often refer to a lot of times when it deals with the atrocities. Now, what I want to say about this quickly is that what we're about to read now deals with the traumas of what happened to us on this side of the Atlantic Ocean, meaning in this country. Okay, let's go inside. Let's read that second paragraph. Black America.
Chapter 1, second paragraph. Black America, you are a miracle.
Go ahead.
You are the product of the greatest survivors on earth. For any group to experience the cruelty, brutality, and wickedness that was thrust upon you by white America and survive the experience with any semblance of sanity is a miracle.
Meaning we're all supposed to be crazy and bugged the living hell out. Every last one of us supposed to be bugged. Ain't none of us is supposed to be sane after all the stuff that we went through. Go ahead.
But that survival experience has left some long-lasting consequences consequences that affect black Americans today.
That's where we at. These are the things that affect us very today. Give me my next page. Read this. Let's see. Give me about the black mother. Let me just read some of the stuff. Read this. Read. Because there was the one that's in the Willie Lynch book, which was a real situation, but I ain't going to mess with that one today. Read this here real quick, because I do need that. We got to talk about the man. Get the title again. What did it say? What did white America do to the black father? Read that.
Blacks came from a country where many men were warriors and family heads.
Go ahead.
These black warriors and black family heads, however, offered a threat to white America's economic plans.
So I needed to read this because this is showing you the brutality that they had to use to break us down. Now all they have to do is just ring a bell. But back then they had to it was real straight up war because we had this kind of mentality. We were warriors. We were family heads. We was all that. Go ahead, read.
But these warriors and family heads, if made slaves, could bring the highest economic return for white America.
So you see the real need why they wanted us. They didn't want just anybody. They said if we can subdue these great people, man, we got it made. Mm-hmm. Can you hear the way they sing? Do you see the way they dance? Do you see how they act? Do you see how they do this and that? Man, this is the day we've been waiting on. Nobody dance like these people. Nobody sing like these people. If we can make them service, we are in heaven. Read that again.
These black warriors and family heads, however, offered a threat to white America's economic plans. But these warriors and family heads, if made slaves...
If they can make these great superior people into slaves... Go ahead.
Could bring the highest...
Go ahead.
Economic return for white America.
That's exactly what the plan is. Go ahead.
Therefore, the submission of the black males became a major emphasis.
They had to work in absolute 100% force to bring us in submission. Go ahead.
And resulted in the development of a new slave system.
Mean the Negro. We have to make Negroes. We have to create Tyrones. That's what they were saying. We have to make a Negro out of these great black people. Go ahead.
A slave system designed to destroy the manhood of the black male.
To make him a boy. Read.
How did white America destroy the black father?
Read.
About 15 million African captives were slated to become slaves in America. This group consisted of men, women, and children. These survivors saw about 5 out of every 100 slaves murdered on the shores of Africa.
You know, the numbers are way higher than that.
Right, exactly.
Way higher than that. We were talking to the people over there that know the history. For every, like I said last week, for every 10,
I think it said
7 of them died. Only 2 made it to the shores of America. 7 to 8 of them died from the dungeons before they got to the Americas. Mm-hmm. Damn. Read.
Resisting slavery.
Come on.
Once on the...
Next page. Come on. At the top. Read that.
Yes, sir.
Did the page skip?
Yes.
Hold it. Let me see something. All right. Well, just read that anyway.
Yes, sir. 22.
Let me see. Just read it.
Black family. Mercy. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Often slaves were murdered just to set an example and to generate fear.
That's why they were doing this. This is how they broke us. Go ahead.
The slaves received beatings if they said the wrong word.
Go ahead.
Looked the wrong way or spoke too loudly at the slave master.
Or sat down when the bell rang. Mm-hmm. When you supposed to stood up. Mm-hmm. Okay? Go ahead.
Look dissatisfied or
if we look dissatisfied. If we look like we didn't like slavery, they chopped you up and did some serious things and made everybody else watch. That's the kind of brute force that it took with a church on top of it. Okay? You basically, America is a dungeon for black people, and every ghetto where the black people are, there's a church on top of it. So the black community is basically the dungeon, and the damn churches are on top of the dungeons, got everybody drinking that damn grape juice, which is bugging our mind out with some Caesar. It's the same damn dynamic. When I was over there and saw the church on top of the slave dungeon, I said, this is America. The damn slave dungeon on top of the ghettos in Harlem. On top of the ghettos in Bed-Stuy and the South Bronx and all that, and whatever ghettos they got down here. Right. The church is that kind of thing. Same dynamic. That's how I saw it. Okay, so that's it on that. Come out of this. I'm just reading about some of the. Go to my next one. We're gonna skip this. The Black Mother. Read that. Hold it. No, move. Come on. Next page.
Chapter 3.
Read that. Yeah, chapter
3.
Read.
What did white America do to the black mother?
Again, these are things that were done on this side in the Americas. Come on.
Nobody knows the trouble I seen. The slaves experienced a breaking in period.
Meaning the man and the woman. Go ahead.
During this period, it was the purpose of the slave owners to break the spirits of their captives and mold them into accepting the slave owners' inhumane expectations.
Read.
To accomplish this, blacks were forced to watch some of the cruelest acts ever witnessed by mankind.
So that was on this side. We were made to watch some of the cruelest acts. All of that was to break us down so that we could be psychologically like a bowl of cereal, all mush. Our brain is all messed up. It took some real work to break us down to this Negro that you see running around in the ghetto doing all this craziness is a product of what we read. Okay, and America's going to pay for that, by the way. America's going to pay for that.
That's right.
I'm just telling you. Read.
One such act was a forced tying of a naked black pregnant woman to a tree.
Now, remember, they're making us watch this now. Go ahead. This is going back to the people sitting down in the chair. But as you look at this here, you got to picture what's happening here. Read that again.
One such act was a forced tying of a naked black pregnant woman to a tree.
She was pregnant, black woman, and she was naked. They tied her to a tree. She didn't do anything. This was not because she did something wrong. They would do this to accomplish fear. Understand why this is being done. They were doing this not because she did anything wrong. So it could have been any random black woman that was pregnant. You, come over here. We're going to use you to put fear in everybody else. You know what kind of fear that puts all of the black women in? To know that it could be any of them at any time at the drop of a hat. Oh, it's you. Oh, it's you. Oh, it's you. That's what's happening here. That's some real terror. But understand that was done on this side. Read.
The scared stares of her fellow slaves must have been pain to her mind. The sun that once soothed her must have been pain to her body. But the greatest pain of all must have been the sight of the white maniac, the slave owner. For in his hand was a large knife.
For in his hand was a large knife. Come on.
This knife announced pain and death.
To not only her, to everybody, because it could have been any woman. Go ahead. Now think about the man now. Again, look, you got to think about the terror. That woman wasn't pregnant on her own. She had a husband. Her husband was made to watch. So that's the boyhood that they stripped the man from. Look at the cruel actions that was done to destroy our manlyhood. Like we was reading earlier. Go ahead.
The slave owner would take the knife, plunge it into her abdomen, and cut her belly open.
And would cut her belly open. Come on.
Then he would pull the unborn baby out of this dying mother and throw its helpless life to the ground.
And you see that, so they did that to accomplish fear. That's what they did that for, to call us to be fearful. Same thing that they did in the suffocation room. What I got after that? Okay, I'm gonna skip this. Now, what I want to talk about, go to my pictures. I got this with the slave ships. Now I want to talk about what happened. Just give me 1 second. Let me catch up. Let me get my stuff together. Don't show it on the screen yet. Don't show it on the screen yet. Just hang on a second.
That's some evil stuff there, man.
Yeah, man. That's
you
what,
know,
that's what I
you hear
say.
about that?
What y'all got to say about that?
And you know, Esau, once the baby pulled the baby, I say, would take his boot here and crush the baby's head
with the boot. Yeah.
That's some evil-ish right there. I'm telling you, man.
Hey, Cap, you know, remember the video that we watched earlier when the child was taken
taken
away
from the mama.
That's the reason, because of what we just read, that's the reason why she didn't really put up any fight, because she knew her enemies had that potential to do that to her and her child.
They could turn up.
So let me just let them take them before they kill me or kill my child.
Right. She couldn't go but so far.
Right.
Just begging and pleading.
And in the last episode, where he showed the picture from the Bartolomé de las Casas dealing with the Northern Kingdom, our his so-called Hispanic brothers and sisters, the sisters particularly with the pregnant woman who had disposed or dispatched of her own baby before it could be afflicted with such violence, like we saw the conquistadors that had landed on Borinquen, like we read earlier in this episode.
That's exactly right. So, what we just read, don't show this yet. What we just read, what we just saw, what we just read was done on this side of the ocean. That's what I want to bring out. All of what we just read about, the woman being put up against the tree, cut open, the black man being vandalized and abused, and all of the terrible actions, even the lynchings that happened, the 100 years of lynchings, all those things, the James Byrd being dragged in the street to his death, and all these kinds of terrible things, these things were done to basically put us in a damn insane asylum spiritually where we're walking around bugged out. But all of those things happened on this side. Now we're going to talk about the things that happened on the other side of the ocean when we was on the West Coast. That's what we're going to talk about now. So here's what I'm going to do. I made the point of saying this here. I said, all of what we just read was done on this side of the ocean after the cargo ships that we were brought on. But here's the question that we don't really get to really examine. We don't really think deep. And even on your jobs and different places where we go, can we really sit down and have a real discussion and say, can you imagine what it was like to put us on those ships? I mean, how did we get on those ships? What methods were used? Show it up there. Put this up there. Here's what I'm going to talk about. Now, this is before we got on the boat, before we got on the ship. Look at this. I want y'all to be able to zoom around in some of them images. Look at that one on the end. Nope, the other side. That right there. Look at how they got us laid down there. What methods do you think it took to get us from being heads of our families? Warriors that were instructors, that were bankers. I mean, we read out of Babylon to Timbuktu. Right. All of them talents and stuff that we have, mathematicians, kings and all that. All of them great talents, scientists, linguistics, all that. What methods do you think it took to get us to end up laying down there, quote unquote, peacefully? What kind of actions you think it took? Zoom in, look at that damn thing. How did they get us to that point? Zoom out. Let them get an eye full of that. Look at that other one. The figure. This is a cross section of the ship. That's what you're looking at. What do you think it took? What methods do you think it took for us to just end up going into this daggone thing? From them damn dungeons. An act of war for real. There wasn't no psychological experiment then. It was straight up war and murder and killing. Right. Okay? Come out of this. That's how the ship, now look, to get us all on that. Those boats were cargo boats, cargo ships. They were not made to carry human beings. They did not modify the ship for us. Those were regular cargo ships. They said, well, we're going to use cargo ships to bring you over because you are cargo.
And Bishop, just see, like, I think you mentioned this before, that there's not one space that's not occupied.
That's because that was the greed, insatiable avarice that we were reading about when Columbus and his demons came upon what he could. Right. Same mentality. Look at that. Look how they got us in there.
Filled every space.
Every space. What do you think? The question is, what methods do you think it took to get us to do that? Right. Could you imagine the damn death that it took? Right. Now you know that the majority of us died. Mm-hmm. How do you think it took? And this happened for 300 years. Shipload after shipload after shipload after shipload. Could you imagine the levels of violence that was going on back then? To get us to be calm, so to speak. You think they just laid there?
Because, Bishop, there's no way Edomite can just place us one by one. No, like you said, we had to willfully lay down.
There was some fighting going on. come out of this. Where am I going? Lord have mercy. Go to the suffocation room again. Let's just show that again. Last week, what I showed last week, I just want to show you that, just to give you an idea. And also just show that. Remember, I showed that last week. The door is low. Let's just go through it real quick. Give it the next picture, the one after this here. You notice I got to go upward. Right. So that's the escape for the oxygen. So that means once you go inside, it's an upper ceiling that's sealed off. So the point is, let's go to the next picture. Go to the next piece. Might have been a video. Play the video. Again, I'm speaking about the atrocities and the evil that was done. Listen.
Can you turn off your light just briefly for me? So we have it. So we'll leave you here without water, without food, without air, nothing. And if about 10 or 20 of them were here, they will not mind. They will wait for all of them to die. If the bodies were smelling or rotten or not, they don't really care. They will leave all of them to die. Then they will, then they will move the bodies out in that smelling state or rotten state and show it to the other captives that from there the bodies was thrown into the sea. Yeah, so this was to put fear in you.
It's demonic.
Yeah, so we say, ancestors, we thank you for freedom and liberation. You were never scared. No matter how you were killed, you fought for freedom, you broke those chains. We thank you. We pray you instill in us that spirit of unity and strength. And wherever you are, may your souls rest in peace.
Yes, sir.
Let's come up again. Let's get some air.
Notice I had to go down to get out.
Oh, sorry, sir.
The door is so
Watch
low.
your heads. Go down, please. Go down.
Get my heads. Keep it playing.
Watch your head.
Molly, one foot.
Watch your head. Watch your head. Watch your head.
So y'all see the evil that it took to do that. Now here's what I want to mention. If 3 of them were rebellious, so to speak, the women didn't want to get raped or whatever, the man didn't want to do such and such, they need multiple bodies in there to make it conducive to suffocating. So they would grab random people and stuff them in there. And just like the women that got cut up, it could have been any of them. So they would do that with the men and the women. Listen, we need more bodies in there to help kill these 3. So you didn't do anything, but we're going to put you in there. You didn't do anything, we're going to put you in there. We're going to stuff you in there until you all die, and then we're going to bring you out to let the rest of them see, because it could have been any of them. That's the trauma that we went through. So that was on the other side of the ocean before we got on them boats. So that just shows you how they end up getting us on them boats, because they were doing vicious actions like this. Right. For an example. Cell hell, yeah, like a brother wrote. Cell hell, yeah. That's what that was. That's how they were doing us. These are just things that we got to be aware of. Get me the video that I gave last week when it showed that floor that was caked up. Let's go to that real quick. We ain't got to play the video. We can watch the part 1 and you can get all them videos. But I want to make a point to show you something. And we're going to read the scripture because it's in the Bible. We're going to read the Bible now, like Captain Amaziah says. Shout out to my captain, Captain Amaziah. We did great works in Ghana. All praise to the Most High. Those were some good times bringing the word of the Lord to our people over there. I thoroughly enjoyed being with the Captain Amaziah as well as Captain Yadai. Great works, you know. So let's get it. Let's show that. Take a look at that. Put that on the screen. What you're looking at, like we said last week, you're looking at dried up blood, dried up feces, urine, women body parts, period. You're looking at all of it. Sweat, tears, parts of flesh, all kind of stuff that has been caked up over the years. When that stuff was finally laid, just keep it up there. When that stuff was finally when all our brothers and sisters was packed into that dungeon, for 90 damn days, waiting for the next ship to come in, that they forced us on. That's the excrements that was coming from our bodies, and over the years it caked up like that, so they preserved it. So when you first go inside, because there's 5 dungeons, The first dungeon, the floor was excavated to show you what the floor really looked like. So the rest of them, they left it. They left the rest of the floor like this is so you could see how all of them really did look when we were there. And all of that stuff was around our ankles. We had to walk through that stuff with those shackles of steel shackles and iron shackles around our ankles. Now, let's read the Bible. Give me the verse about, let's see. Let's see. Give me the book. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 30. We read 33. We're going to read 33 to 35. Come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
Could you imagine what this was like, seeing a damn foreigner come over and do all this on your own land? Right. So that's what we broke this verse down earlier. Okay. Read the next verse. Here we go.
So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes.
And we were mad when this went down. We mad now. You can imagine how mad we were back then. Read.
Which thou shalt see.
Go ahead.
The Lord shall smite thee in the knees.
Here's the verse that I wanted to get to. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees. So we're reading, and we might be thinking that the Most High got what we're looking at on the screen with what we're reading. And read it again. Watch this.
The Lord shall smite thee in the knees.
Come on.
And in the legs.
And in the legs. When they put those iron shackles on us, and we had to walk through a foot of feces and urine and blood, those iron shackles produce cuts on your ankle. Right. Right. And you're walking through feces with your ankles bleeding, with your feet bleeding. They didn't give us no damn shackle Adidas. Right. Remember that? The daggone Adidas made a pair of sneakers with shackles on them. Right. Damn. Yes. Yeah. Could we put that up there? The damn shackle Adidas.
Yep, I remember. Oh my
goodness. You ain't see this? Here we go. Shackle Adidas, damn it.
I wouldn't wear them for nothing.
Shackle Adidas, making mockery. That's what you call the 100% pure exploitation of black folks.
Had the chain on them and everything.
Had the chain on them and everything. Shackle Adidas. They just said, let's just see if we can do this. Shackle Adidas. Just put that up there. It'll pop up. Bam.
Oh, my goodness.
Show it. Show it. Look at that. What the hell?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yo, that's it.
That's what they did. That's the complete mockery. Complete mockery. Shackle Adidas. What the hell is that all about?
Wow.
That's a damn disgrace.
Damn.
Yeah.
The ones we had on were
Negroes
hammered.
wearing them.
Yeah.
They had to hammer them with a blacksmith hammer. Had sharp edges on them.
Exactly. Somebody said Kanye West designed those. Lord have mercy. The Negro. He probably, I don't know.
Yeah,
hey,
because he had a big contract with Adidas.
Damn. The Lord said, I'm going to tear your ass up for putting your name on some foolishness like this. All right, let's go back to where I was at, man. Your brother shouldn't have put that there. Just messed my whole spirit up. Damn. The Negro. Read that again. That 35.
Verse 35. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch.
With a sore botch. Go ahead. The diseases. Go ahead.
That cannot be healed.
That cannot be healed because they died in them damn dungeons because of those diseases. Right. You might have had a death because remember, we were all chained up for months. How often gangrene, all them daggone things happening in there? Your brother that's chained to you will be dead for days before they even before they can peel back the rather slaves just to get to him in a corner. And you're chained to a dead body. That was on that side of the ocean. Before we even came over here to have the woman's stomach split open and all of that, we were going through this stuff over there. So it's no mystery to me why we're so damn crazy. Like we was reading earlier, we are a miracle for any of us to survive this with any semblance of sanity at all. Right. I expect all of us, including me, to be crazy. All of us is supposed to be bugged out. Read that thing again.
The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed.
That cannot be healed. Go ahead.
From the sole of thy foot.
The sole of our feet were literally cut up, walking on them sharp stones and all of that. Bleeding in the toes, and you're walking. Just think about you walking through urine for 3 months at a time. Damn, think about that. All of that was psychological torture to break us down because they wanted our minds so that they could fulfill their splendor lifestyles. Go ahead.
From the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head.
So those DNA-covered floors, which was all manner of human excrements that got into our bloodstreams because of the cuts on our ankles due to those shackles. So that's what was happening there. So I'm just bringing the scriptures out a little bit further than just mere reading it. I'm going to the physical explanation of what we just read there. The Most High got all that recorded. So I just want y'all to know that. We're moving on. Let's see where I'm going next. Now, give me the book. I'm going to skip some things. Because we read some of this earlier, so I ain't got to read it again. Read verse 28.
Verse 28.
No, I'm sorry. Read verse 54.
Yes, sir.
Read verse 54.
Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
What the Bible say? What?
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother. Go ahead.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
And toward the wife of his bosom. This is the black on black crime. This is what the title is dealing with now. How much time I got left? Good. We're getting ready to get it all in now.
Evil eyes at each other.
Evil eyes at each other. We're talking about it now. So I built up all of that to show you why we're so violent, why we're so crazy. Like I said at the beginning of what I asked, I said many of us wonder, how is it that we're so crazy? Why is it that we're going, why? It's because of a long legacy of abuse, a long legacy of trauma, a long legacy of rape, terrorism, and all of that, lynchings. All these things produce this kind of activity within us.
To the point we act this way with each other.
Exactly. That's the point. Read that again. Where you was at?
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
That's what the Most High said. His eye shall be evil toward his brother with the black on black crime. Go ahead.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
And toward the wife of his bosom, meaning get the woman pregnant and just let her go. Don't give a damn about her at all. We didn't used to be this way. When we was before we got rounded up and put on them ships, we were dealing properly with each other. We were heads of families and all that. Now look at us. Why? Because of the trauma and the abuse that we went through. All of generations. God got to record. That's why we're reading it in the series of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Read.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
And that's exactly what aborting our babies and all types of stuff is about this here. Leaving the women with the children. The hell with you. She'll make it on her own. The fathership. All that's good. Look at what we would strip from. All of what we was reading about in the beginning, heads of families and all that. Now we're to the point we don't want to deal with the woman. We don't want to, it's too much for me. Da-da-da-da-da. All that craziness, evil that we deal with each other. We've been totally turned inside out. So it's no mystery why we bugging out. Go ahead, Captain.
Bishop, y'all got a video that's going right along with the scripture we just read. I've been holding it the whole time. I looked it up. I want to show this thing because there it is, the evil eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Deontay Wilder. Now he gonna speak on exactly what we just talking about. This the TikTok one? Okay.
Let's go.
Turn it up and play it.
And I always talk about black people. That's what's wrong with black people to this day. We hate each other for no reason, for no cause. Everything we done been through and still go through to this day, but we still look at each other. Instead of pointing the finger somewhere, we still have so much aggression upon each other. Nowadays, we pass each other, we can't even say hello, how are you? Have a good day. Yet we mean more, we look them up and down, we stare in their face. If we say anything to a person, they ready to fight. Wherever it came to. when we're some of the strongest peoples in the world.
That's it right there.
That's it right there. Hey, we got to save that video because I'm gonna go all into that, but not today.
Yes, sir.
Meaning in terms of all of those points that he missed,
Yeah.
there's psychological answers for everything that he said. But we
Yes,
gonna deal
sir.
with that.
Yes,
but
sir.
That video was on point, Captain.
Right with
You
that
on
scripture,
the money.
Bishop. Yes, sir.
You're on the money.
All praise.
Okay. So all of what we explained so far shows how all this violence and evil overtook us, like the scriptures say. These curses shall overtake thee and pursue thee. Okay, so that's what we're getting ready to get into it now. Now, give me the book of Hosea, chapter 5, verse 15, and we getting ready to turn it around a little bit now, because there is hope, brothers and sisters.
That's
right. And we at IUIC, we are about bringing that hope, like the Most High told us to do.
Hosea chapter 5, verse 15.
Come on.
I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense.
So the Most High left us in all this fire, man. Lord have mercy. People are complaining about the crime rate in our neighborhoods, complaining about how we deal with each other, the black on black, the shooting, the what up. What's the dude's what up? Make them hop, double Dutch.
Yeah.
Okay, all that. That's what's going on. Read that again.
I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense.
Until we acknowledge our offense. What's going to make us acknowledge our offense? The fact that we can't even go outside. We got to worry about our daughters getting raped or shot down. Got to worry about our sons getting killed and murdered or something. Somebody breaking in something. This carjackings. It's crazy now. Show that on the screen. Look at this damn thing. What the hell? Look at this. This is what we got to deal with. Ain't no white man around. Look at this crap.
Yep.
All black and Hispanic people. This is where we're at now. Damn. Look at this mess.
Yep.
The hell is this? But we've been made into this foolishness. Thank God y'all had these pictures. I ain't even know where y'all get these from, but this is all right. Y'all right on point. All praise to the Most High. Y'all doing your thing in there, man. Y'all got to give me a slide with your names on it so we can get that credentials in when we close out the shows, right? So all praise to the Most High. So read.
And seek my face.
And we going to seek the Lord's face when this damn thing get so out of control. Then, Lord, we need some help, man. So now we're coming to the Bible. Go ahead.
In their affliction.
In their affliction. In our affliction of us getting shot down, murdered, stabbing, all that craziness, we will seek the Lord early. We're going to start looking for solutions. That's the point. From the Most High. We will seek him early. Now. Here enters IUIC. All praise to the Most High. Because seeking him early is the avenue that the gospel is going to come through, and that's through IUIC, Israel United in Christ.
That's all right.
Give me the next video. Get the timestamp. Nope. Listen to me. That's not it. That's not it. That's the one I need right there. Get the timestamp on it. Did I give it to y'all? Okay, let's start at the timestamp, and we're going to play till the timestamps in. Now, what am I bringing up? I'm about to show you, because, again, when we started seeking the Most High early, this is what it meant. Don't play it until I'm ready now. Make sure y'all got it set right. This is us coming to the Most High and bringing the solution to our people. The Most High is using Israel United in Christ to bring the solutions to the afflictions. And the Most High used Bishop Nathaniel to bring that out. Here he is in New York being interviewed by Sam Kestenbaum. And I always make reference to this particular part of the interview because it was absolutely imperative that I illuminate what Bishop said in reference to an answer as to why he started Israel United in Christ. The Most High is definitely working with Bishop Nathaniel, and he's working with IUIC. So let's play. Listen to the answer that Bishop is going to give. Hit it.
Israel United in Christ started around 2003. Not out of a want, but out of necessity. Meaning as a young man, once the split happened back in 95, I visited many of the other Israelite camps who were up and running. And what I noticed was there's a lack of outreach in terms of building up blacks and Latinos, bringing them back to their heritage. And it was more focused on attacking Caucasians, or as we call them, Edomites, children of Esau. That was their focus, opposed to building up. What good does it profit me if I'm telling you Esau has a system of racism, but meanwhile I'm an adulterer or a thief or a liar? What does it profit me? You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's what I noticed that was happening amongst the Israelite camps. Everything was attacked, Esau, Esau, Esau. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to building up, the families that you notice are just disenfranchised. Nothing is done. Mm-hmm. So hence, Israel United in Christ came about, the teaching of God's commandments, according to the book of Malachi 4, where we have to return our people to the commandments. Just knowing you're an Israelite, that's only one part of the puzzle. Mm-hmm. Now comes living the laws. That's why if you notice with our camps, people who are in the midst of stealing or adultery, we give you ample time to get your life corrected according to Scripture. But if we see that your resolve is not to do so, you have to go. You have to go. We have to put you out until you're ready to get your mind cemented in keeping God's laws.
All praise to the Most High. So again, this is the answer to when we're being afflicted, the Most High sent His prophets to bring the gospel to our people. So that was important for me to play that clip. Now go to the book of Hosea, chapter 6 and verse 1. We're gonna read 1 to 3.
Hosea chapter 6 verse 1. Come and let us return unto the Lord, for He hath torn, and He will heal us. He hath smitten, and He will bind us up.
Read that again.
Come and let us return unto the Lord.
Let us return unto the Lord in our affliction. Understand that the book of Hosea chapter 5 verse 15 reads straight through. Let's read Hosea 5:15 and just read to the 3rd verse in the 6th chapter. Watch this.
Yes, sir.
It's all going together.
5:15.
Yes.
I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction they will seek me early. Come and let us return unto the Lord, for He hath torn, and He will heal us. He has smitten, and He will bind us up.
So that's why you heard Bishop speak about the outreach. I want to put that word in your mind. Outreach. We got to outreach. We got to go and locate the people and bring them the gospel. The gospel that's going to turn them away from this hatred, turn them away from this crime, all this evil that we're doing to each other. That's the instruction of the gospel. That's the reason why I wanted to play that with Bishop, because Bishop's thought is all our thoughts in IUIC. Our job is to bring this gospel because we were torn. The scripture said, come and let us return unto the Lord, for He has torn, meaning He afflicted us. In our affliction, we shall seek Him early. The Lord said that He has torn us, and He will bind us up. He will heal us up. He has smitten us, and He will bind us up. Read.
After 2 days will He revive us. In the 3rd day He will raise us up, and we shall live in His sight.
We're living in the 3rd day now. We're being turned back to the Lord, and we are beginning to build. So I didn't want to just give you all doom and gloom. There is a way out of all this craziness, and you're about to witness it. As the week, because this truth ain't going to stop. This truth ain't going to stop. The Most High is about to redeem His people. Now, I know we got haters that hate that. The hell with you. Okay? Right. The people that's trying to stop this gospel, the hell with you.
Right.
I'm about my nation, and if the Lord is behind me, I am in it. If the Lord is behind what we're doing, I'm in it. Right. And that's how all of us should be.
Right.
That's how all of us should be. Even, I always say this here. When I know that the Lord is working with us, my life can be taken away. That's okay. Because I know that I'm coming back in the spirit of the Lord to hang my enemies that murdered me. So I feel good right now because I know the Lord got this. All praises to the Most High. Let's read. Read that.
Then shall we know, if we follow on to know the Lord. His going forth is prepared as the morning, and He shall come unto us as the rain, as the latter and former rain unto the earth.
So the Most High is going to bless us. That's what that latter and former rain meaning beautiful. He going to really take care of the nation of Israel. He going to beautify us. He said He shall beautify the meek with salvation. I just throw it in there. Now, give me my next video. Watch this.
There's
hold. I want to show. Wait a minute. Did I send a picture? I want to send a picture. Could we find? Yeah. Show that. This right here was what the brothers that you're about to see, they were talking about this here. Israel United in Christ. This was one of our marches. You can see the bishops. Well, I think, yeah, I'm in there. Bishop Nathaniel, Bishop Kanai. You see the brothers and everybody. So this was one. Where were we at? We was in. I think this was Detroit. It was 7 Mile. I think that's where this one was. Okay, so we were going through the city and showing that solidarity that our enemies hate. And I love the fact that they hate it. I love that. I do. I love the fact that they hate it. Because that means we're doing something right.
Right.
And I like that. Okay? Okay. So, Israel United in Christ. Our history is in the Bible, Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. So, this is what I wanted to show you. So now let's play the video. There's a video to this thumbnail. Okay, let's go.
There's one main one that I watch. He's like their bishop, and his name is Nathaniel. If you go to YouTube and type him in,
I've seen him. Yeah,
Bishop Nathaniel. And don't get me wrong, like I have learned a lot out of the Bible by watching him specifically. He really goes through, like he has a lot of podcasts with radio stations and things like that. Yeah. And he breaks down a lot of stuff out of the Bible through the podcast. Like right away, he's coming straight out of the Bible.
Our generation. This for you men. Luke chapter 7. Bear with me. Let me get it. I know I'm slow, but here we go. Here we go. Verse 31. And the Lord said, whereunto then shall I liken the men of this generation? And to what are they like? They are like unto children sitting in the marketplace. See what Christ said to us? The men of his generation, he said, y'all like children. You take no accountability, no responsibility. That's that same generation today.
And so...
Pause it. That part is the hook. Because if we're going to deal with the black-on-black crime, if we're going to deal with the promiscuity, if we're going to deal with the problems that we see every day, it's going to take men that don't have fear. It's going to take men of the Most High to go inside these situations and fix them. I've often said this. If we as men do not pick up the torch to solve our own problems, what man are we looking for to come in to solve our own problems and still ask to carry the badge of manhood? Right. If we're going to give manhood to somebody else, then why should we be called men? If we are truly men, then why won't we elect to solve the problems that affect us? Right. Let's get Bishop again. Let's back that statement up when they was reading in Luke. Let's get all that when he started speaking. I want you to hear what my bishop said. My brother. Get all of it. Come on. Go back. I want to make sure. I want to, right. You started from there. I want to get all his words. Go ahead.
Bible.
Our generation. This for you men. Luke chapter 7. Bear with me. Let me get it. I know I'm slow, but here we go. Verse 31. And the Lord said, whereunto then shall I liken the men of this generation? And to what are they like? They are like unto children sitting in the marketplace.
So, Paul, we are like, right now, we are like children because we've been made boys. That's what we was reading about. But it's time to come out of that boy state. It's time to stand up like men. Put on your manly boots. Put on your beard. Put on your manly spirit and do the good works. That's what Bishop is bringing out because Christ said that. Back that up a little bit. Let's get them statements. Come on.
Whereunto then shall I liken the men of this generation? And to what are they like? They are like unto children sitting in the marketplace.
That's what we've been made into. We've been made boys. But the Most High said that's not how we're supposed to be. Right. Go ahead. See what Christ said? That's what Bishop said. Read on. Play on.
Said to us, the men of his generation, he said, y'all like children. You take no accountability, no responsibility. That's that same generation today.
And so
we're here to change that.
That's what also kind of persuaded me because I felt like the truth is in the word. So he's coming straight out of it and he's teaching and everything, the way he lined it up made sense.
All praises to the Most High.
That's right.
All praises to the Most High. So we're at that point now. We're at that point now. We are to be men We are to be men of accountability and responsibility. That's what we are for, not only for our nation and family, but for all of us, men, women, and children. We are to be men of accountability and responsibility. That's the reason why I make such a big deal about when we act like we can't deal with time, when we can't even deal on how to even do things in order. We're supposed to be men, and we can't do things in order. This is crazy. But it's time to shake that old Negro spirit. Get rid of that daggone thing. We got to be men, the men that the Most High is building, and that's what he's building right now. All praise to the Most High. Now, go to my slides. Let's see what we got. Let's go. Let me put the telegram over here. We're getting ready to get into some things now. Just show you something. Right, that's what I want to say. Hold it. Hey, play that clip. Hold it. Before you play that, this is a little throwback something just to let you know what kind of trouble our people are in. And again, this right here lends to some of the psychological problems. You're going to find this deep. That lends to some of the psychological problems that go on with our men. This is Little House on the Prairie. I saw this little clip, and I want y'all to listen to this. Pay attention. Turn it up. Let's hear it.
Now, last week I had you write an essay about the things that you liked the most. This week I thought it might be fun if we wrote an essay about the things that we disliked the most. Solomon?
Solomon?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you think of something
Now,
that you dislike?
pause it. Let's back it up again. Just that video. I want y'all to notice the exuberant look on his face, the happiness, because that's in our spirit. We want to be pleasing. I don't mean like pleasing the white folks. I mean we are even in our captivity. Right. We are still an exuberant, beautiful people.
Right.
We are a beautiful people. Look at that beautiful smile on his face. Right. Go ahead. I think is that Todd Bridges?
Yes. Last week I had you.
Back it up. Let's play it again. Come on.
Last week I had you write an essay about the things that you liked the most. This week I thought it might be fun if we wrote an essay about the things that we disliked the most. Solomon?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you think of something that you dislike?
Being a nigga. I didn't mean nothing bad. The teacher asked a question and I just answered it.
Well, why'd you say it?
'Cause it's the truth. If and I was white, my pa'd still be alive. Being a nigga killed my pa. You answer me something, sir.
If I can.
Would you like to live to be 100?
I'm sure I would. It's not very likely, but I guess all of us like to live to a ripe old age.
Would you rather be black and live to be 100, or white and live to be 50?
He said, let me get the hell out of here. He said, hold it. Pause it.
That fell too deep for me.
He said, what you got to say about that, Lakim?
I was looking at, I got something to say about that, but I was looking at something else at the beginning, though. But the fact that the music.
Bring it all out. We got time.
Yes, sir.
We got time.
The fact that the music swelled.
Yes.
And that he had that moment of pause.
Right.
Meant that not only him and the characters in the story, but everybody in this society that ever would watch this in the future and beyond would identify with the fact that the reason that he said that is because of something that is actually in place here in reality.
Exactly. It resonates with us. Right. It resonates with us.
Because if it wasn't true, it wouldn't mean nothing.
It wouldn't mean
Everybody
anything.
would see it and be like, what does it mean? No, everybody knows what it means.
Exactly. And his last question was the pure bomb,
Right.
which goes back to something that I heard, what was it, Dave Chappelle or somebody, Chris Rock running them. He made the point that said, listen, Chris Rock said, I'm rich. I got money. And he said if he approached a white man that was a damn bum living up under the damn bridge, he said, would you trade places with me?
Yeah, right.
The white man said, hell no.
Right.
He said, I'm going to ride this white thing on out.
Right.
Hell no.
Hell no. He said, I'm rich. That's letting you know, being black in this damn cesspool, this cell hell is the real, it's a death sentence.
Right.
So you see at the end, that's what he said to, what's it, Michael Lando? Is that white dude? I forget these actors' names.
Yeah, that's Michael Landon. Yeah.
Landon or whatever his name was, Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
So he was playing that part. Don't go nowhere.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Don't go nowhere. And he said, "Listen, would you?" He said, "Would you like to be 100?" I like that question.
Right.
He said, "Well, sure, I'd like to be 100. If many people would love to be 100, I don't think I'll actually get there, but it's, I would try." He said, "Well, would you rather be black to be 100 or live to be 50 and be a white man?"
Shut him down.
Yeah, get up out of
He
there.
said, "Hell, I'll take the 50. The hell with the rest of it." He said, "If I got to live as a black man, hell no." That's letting you know the problem. That's letting you know what kind of society we're in. Go ahead, Ken.
Remember, Bishop, in the beginning, what was the question that she asked? I want y'all to write about what do y'all dislike.
Right.
He said being a nigga. And then he talked to the white dude. He's like, well, why'd you say that? He said, because it's the truth.
He said, "That's got my part." That's the part. He said, that name got my father killed.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And he said because it's the truth. Now, how do you know it's the truth? Because when he asked him what you just said,
Right.
Bishop, about what would he rather do,
Right.
that man never answered because he knew the answer.
he
He
knew.
knew that nobody want to be
He
a
said-
nigga.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
He said, "I'm going to walk out of this damn room because if I answer you, you ain't going to like it. Hell no, I don't want to be you.
Damn.
You're cursed by God and all this." All those kind of thoughts will go through his head.
Right.
My father died because somebody called him a nigga. Damn.
But can I?
Yeah,
there was
somebody
something.
Somebody wrote, "Writers knew what time it was." You damn right. They knew it. They knew it. Go ahead. What you going to say?
Start it over. Cap, you got to help me out with this one. What time period is this representing? I'm not exactly sure myself.
This was in like in the I guess what, the 50s?
The 50s?
Something like that.
Okay.
Look it up by the
So play that right there.
Now, last week I had you write an essay about the things that you liked the most.
Now she
This
winked
week
at
I
him,
thought-
right? If
Might
he
be fun.
winked,
Hold
it's
it,
the
hold it.
50s,
Hold
right?
it, Ho. There you go. Hey, you're already on it. You're already on it because his father died already. Go ahead.
His
Bring
father
it up.
died just from being black.
Exactly.
The Edomite girl winked at him. The
Yeah.
so-called white girl winked at him. If he winked back, he
He'd
would
be
have
Emmett
died.
Till.
Yep.
Because
He'd be
Emmett
Emmett
Till
Till.
was killed, and he was alive during the 50s, if I'm
Exactly.
not mistaken.
Exactly.
It's
55
real
when
life.
he got died.
They
So-
softened
when he got murdered.
the interaction between the different nationalities of characters for the television
Right.
for the time that this show was released.
Exactly.
Even though during this time period, if those winks would have been interchanged, he would have been Emmett Till.
It goes back to that video. He knew not to entertain. He turned right. She winked at him. He turned right around like, "What you trying to get me killed?"
Exactly.
That's that conditioning. Remember,
Yep.
his father died.
His father died.
Or murdered.
Heavy stuff, man. Heavy stuff, man. Heavy stuff. So these are the kinds of situations that we're dealing with in the ghetto and in our community, in the black community. There was like I was making a point. I was on the about 2 weeks ago. I was in Washington D.C. I think I said this last week, and I was on the radio, the Howard University radio station, and that subject came up about the problems in the black community, and I was making a point that black people suffer from an internal, a decadent in spirit, meaning that there's no real substance about us, so we don't have any value for each other. We don't even value ourselves, and until because we, the subject matter was about what can we do to stave off this violence, and you could throw all kinds of money at it, you could throw all kinds of programs at it. But if you don't deal with the void of self, if you don't deal with the absence of the soul of us, if you don't deal with the soul of men, if you don't deal with the real essence of us, who we are, and why did this happen to us, and what offense that we did against the Most High to put us in this situation, you ain't never going to answer the problem. You ain't never going to be able to bring the solution. You have to deal with the cause behind the issue. And the cause behind the issue is that we were taught to hate ourselves because we don't know ourselves. And until we fix that part of it, you can't even begin to bring any kind of solution to the people. So that was the point that I was making on the radio. So with time running, get me my next video. Let me see it on the screen first. Now we're bringing the solutions. I want to break this point to y'all. The Youth Violence Conflict Resolution Seminar.
Yes, sir.
This Youth Violence Conflict Resolution Seminar. These are programs that are going out. So all praise to the Most High. This is what Bishop Nathaniel was talking about. This is just an example of what he was talking about when there must be outreach. This is part of the outreach. This is just one of many things that we do in the black community, in the Israelite community, to bring the solution to our people's problems, which is the Bible. We bring the Bible, which is the solutions, and that's what's going to straighten up our people that's caught up in this evil eyes towards each other, and this and how we deal this black on black crime and this evil that we do to each other. Let's play. Let's get these videos rolling. Come on.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. We here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Youth Violence Conflict Resolution Seminar. I'm here with Officer Joe, Officer David. We had an eventful day today. We blazed Fox 6 this morning. We also just left 101.7 Truth FM. And now we're here at the seminar. We're here at the rec center, waiting for our people to come out. We're here to show our people that the solutions to all of our problems, whether it be violence, no matter what it is, you can find the solutions in the Holy Bible, all right? So y'all stay tuned. Join us, all right? Most High in Christ bless.
So that's just some of the good works, brothers. Some of the good works. Give me the next video. Now, y'all want to comment on these things, you can do that. Okay? So we're going to play the next one. Come on.
It helps because men must recognize what they are. When I say men must recognize what they are, men are inventors. Men are builders. Men are planners. Men are architects and engineers in spirit. These children are our future. How could it be that we're not investing in them?
But we can go to other communities and they be like, I never even seen the inside of a prison. I don't know anybody that's been in jail. All my family is college educated. Everybody in my family has a business. But in our community, that ain't the case.
Now, recently, a 13-year-old boy just got killed trying to steal a car in our city. Recently. These are the type of things that's going on amongst our youth.
And then I start my day, honestly, with bad news every single day.
That vision thing is super important. You must be able to breathe mentally. You must be able to envision and plan and direct. And whenever men don't get the opportunity for whatever reason, and that fire is in them that wants to get out, then it comes out in misplaced aggression, which leads to quote-unquote black-on-black crime, murders, everything else. Because we try to live, but feel restricted.
Go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
These are the basic laws that's being ignored in our community, and this is the reason why we're catching the problems that we're catching.
All praise to the Most High.
It helps because
now we're going to go to the next video. We're going to the next video. Now we're going to hold off for a second. We're going to play that. I just wanted to point out the importance for us to having to go out there. We got to be the men. If we don't help ourselves, nobody will help us. Right. Okay, so we have to. That's the reason why I was making a point about what Bishop said. That outreach. And this is just one of the things we do. There's many programs that we have set up to go and bring our people the Bible. So we're not playing games, brothers and sisters. Mm-hmm. We're not playing games. We are serious about this work, and we need your support. We need your donations. We need your help because, as you can see, this is not a small project. We got more to show you. And by the way, I wanted to make a point. So those people that you saw up there, those are very influential people. That woman with the blue on, mm-hmm. She's a very influential woman that runs a big part of the radio show up there. Damn near, I mean, big time. Mm-hmm. Okay, and the other brother is a police officer in the area. You saw him in other videos. You saw the mayor came out. You know, you saw other city officials. So again, a lot of our people are trying to find the solutions and to our people's problems. So thank the Lord that they actually collaborated with us so that we can really get this word out to our people. So again, I want to thank all the brothers and the sisters from the different communities, from the police department, from the radio station runners, the people that handle that, the politicians, everybody that's about trying to do something for our people, that's going to get behind this thing and try to save our people from this evil. It's incumbent upon us to bring the solutions to our people. If we don't do it, how's it going to get done? So we ourselves got to step in, put our boots on, and do what men's supposed to do. So I just wanted to make all that point. You can play this here. Come on.
Lost our way, but we're going to get back there, right? And we're going to do it through God's word. We have to take back our community.
Is there another video?
What are some of the solutions you feel as though we need in our community?
More teachers, not teachers in the school system, but more as teachers as human beings to younger people. You know what I'm saying? It's more guidance.
A lot of stuff crazy going on in the world right now. My man just got locked up the other day. He was around a wrong group of crowd. They had drugs, guns, and stuff like that. What I learned here,
You remember?
keep
Hold
yourself
on. We're going to
busy.
play that again. He said that his brothers was running with the wrong group. Didn't we just show that experiment before? Yeah. The brother now he locked up. Yo, there was so much that came out in this seminar, man. And to hear the stories that's coming from those different speakers that came up. I mean, some heavy stuff. There's going to be a documentary. The brothers are putting it together, so you'll get to see it. So you're going to get to see what we've been dealing with. But we got these things going on all across the country. And I know that our enemies want to stop that. By me saying that, they be like, oh, well, now we can start to try to mess them up in that regard. So I'm aware of that. But the Most High is behind all this whole thing here. We got to do something according to the Most High to bring this truth to our people. Okay, the hell with the white man. The hell with the enemies. Right. We got to do what we got to do.
Right. And Bishop,
Yes,
this is really good to see because, we think back, many of y'all think back, and our coming up, we've seen a lot of our friends killed, locked up, just, murdered, just destroyed. And all praise to the Most High that we made to where we at. But then we look back, you look back and say, well, what can I do to help my community? Because you see now it's at a worse level than ever before. Their minds are just totally gone, and no real role model because there's no fathers there, there's no leaders there, there's, even when they played sports, there was men that was governing them young boys and boys coming out of group homes and stuff like that had men that would help them get them through. But it's been so corrupted now, it don't even matter to them no more. So it's good to see this youth violence and conference resolution seminars going on, and it's starting to roll. All praise to the Most High.
Yep. All praise to the Most High. Start that from the beginning and let that play on through. And you brothers, y'all, we still got some time. Y'all want to throw some commentary in there while we're letting all this things from the beginning of that video. Okay, let's go.
What are some of the solutions you feel as though we need in our community?
More teachers, not teachers in the school system, but more as teachers as human beings to younger people. You know what I'm saying? It's more guidance.
A lot of stuff crazy going on in the world right now. My man just got locked up the other day. He was around a wrong group of crowd. They had drugs, guns, and stuff like that. What I learned here, keep yourself busy. Keep yourself out of the streets.
You see, we doing our skits. We got a lot of different things going on. Neighborhood violence, kids going out trying to steal things. Have you seen some of that stuff already?
Yeah, I see it a lot in my school and on the news.
There's different programs out here for the youth and for the adults to make sure they can connect and try to get through these issues that we're having in the community.
I got clarity of what those biblical statements meant. They were broken down in a way that I could relate. We're struggling as parents and as youth out here, and I want to be a part of a great movement.
All praise to the Most High. Now that's some good stuff, right, brothers?
Right.
All right.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's what IUIC is doing. Hey, get 1 Timothy, what's that? 3 and start at verse 1. 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. That's what IUIC is doing. We're going out there. The first brother right there in the last video, he said we need more teachers. That's what we're going out there. We're going out there teaching the people who they are, their heritage, our culture has been stripped from us. So we got to go back out there with the Bible and bring our people back to it. Go ahead and read that for me.
1 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1. This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop.
To be a bishop means you a leader. That's what we are lacking in our communities. But not here at IUIC. We got a plethora of leaders here. You know, that's because of this Bible. You know what I mean? So go ahead, read on.
He desireth a good work.
A good work. Going out and teaching the youth. Going out and teaching the men, teaching the women on how to dress and how to love their husbands and how to take care of their children. That's a good work right there. That's something to be to have honor about, to be proud of, to go out there and teach your people who they are. Go ahead.
A bishop then must be blameless.
So this goes into the solutions. You must be blameless. You can't be a thief. You know what I mean? Going and trying to teach the youth, but meanwhile you a thief or you doing all these other things that hinders the growth of your community. Go ahead.
The husband of one wife.
Not jumping from woman to woman. This is if you just follow that the husband of one wife, that'll stop the abortions in our communities. That'll stop the single parent households in our communities. Baby mamas, baby fathers. This is what the Bible. This is the solution. I don't know what our people be thinking, man. Go ahead.
Vigilant. Sober. Of good behavior.
Of good behavior. Read.
Given to hospitality.
Go ahead.
Apt to teach.
That's the point right there. Apt to teach. We got to be willing to teach who we are. We got to be willing to teach these laws, statutes, and commandments because that's what's going to change our communities and better and bring forth the kingdom. That's all. That's right.
And right quick, why are all these churches on these corners?
Now you're talking.
Why all these churches on these corners and the kids still ain't nothing been changed? That's why we need, thank God for IUIC. Thank God for the other groups that's out there. But we're not the only ones, but I'm just telling you, that's why this is so important because the churches have not done it. Most time our mothers and fathers are so oppressed. They're out there working 2 and 3 jobs, kids left at home, okay, and being taught by the television, being taught by Sexy Red, being taught by all these drug dealers, all these crazy movies and stuff. You know, no real education nowhere. But we got to come back to this Bible, biblically, because the preachers ain't doing it.
Right.
So that's what it is. That's what it is. You on point with that, Cap. Yes, sir.
I just saw. No, I'm gonna let y'all flow. But I just saw a news flash that came across my screen. Republicans voting for bill that could make Bible illegal.
Oh, I seen that. I got that. I saved it.
The Republicans?
Yeah. What difference do they make? Shit. You was talking about the churches. Well, the churches ain't doing nothing. Them churches are the same churches that was on top of the dungeons.
Right.
So I don't see them no different than that. Go ahead.
But going into that, Bishop, is the reason why they see what's happening. They see these videos right here that's being put out.
Exactly.
So now they got to make preparations to put them niggas back in check. That's what you was going into
exactly.
earlier.
Like they said we would do everything to make sure they never get out of it.
You got to ring that bell.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
So, real quick, go to Psalms chapter 94, verse 16. Psalms chapter 94 and verse 16. This is what we need more of. We need more men that's willing to do this and not follow the multitude into wickedness. You've seen those pictures that we was going through. It's high time that we come out of that. We're destroying and killing each other. Man, it's time out for that. Go ahead, read that.
Psalms chapter 94, verse 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers?
That's a question to you men out there. That's a question to you women that's tired of the sexy red, like you mentioned, Cap. You know what I mean? Read it again.
Who will rise up for me against the evildoers?
Which one of you men is going to rise up against the evildoers? You know, the ones that's out there that's telling the youngsters to come on the block and hustle. That's telling the youngsters to sleep from woman to woman. Which one of y'all going to rise up against that? Or are you too scared to do it? Because you don't want to be different. You don't want to be like Amy in the video. You scared of that.
Right.
Go ahead.
Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
That's what God is asking us. That's what God telling us to return to. Return back unto him, and then he's going to heal us. But you got to get that fear up off of you. So that's what I got.
All praise to the Most High. Come on, Cap. What y'all got? It's time to get it in. Things that y'all want to drop. I got all the lesson out. The whole thing. I got to the last page and done. The only thing that's left for me to say is shalom. I'm just waiting on y'all. I'm just letting y'all get it in. It's all praises.
We just riding right on the way, though, Bishop.
What you got? Come on, Ehud. You were late, but you can give us something.
All praise. Let me get,
you heard what I said, right?
Sorry, Bishop. Let me get Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. This is go with what Captain brought out. Cause like you said, Bishop, like we ain't just reading the Bible here in the IUIC. We standing up boldly for the Most High and showing you the example of how to bring back the family, the Black and Hispanic family, according to the scriptures. Read that.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness.
This is what the enemy fears. This is what the enemy, he fears that thing. But we have to learn how to stand up boldly. Not trying to depend on another man, but be that bold, be that righteous man. Read.
Before the face of such as have afflicted
Why?
him.
Because like the bishop brought out in his lesson, we see the affliction that came not just on this side of the water, but before we even got on the ships. The affliction has always been on the nation of Israel. Read.
And made no account of his labors.
Read.
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
Why? Because when they see these youth violence conferences, they're gonna be troubled with fear. Why? Because we're fixing our people. We're not just giving them a rhetoric that's gonna all just keep that cycle going. No, we showing you how to change. We showing you, look, you don't have to be that gang member. You don't have to be that woman on the street. Read.
And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
It's gonna be strange. Why? Because you ain't seen this before. You ain't never seen this before. You ain't never seen Blacks and Hispanics coming together and keeping God's laws. Read.
So far beyond all that they looked for.
Why? Because we understand now. Look, this is the key. This is the solution now. We have to learn how to keep God's laws, and we have to first, like the bishop said, know who we are first. That's all I got, Bishop.
Hey. Go ahead.
I posted a video. Go ahead. It was going into the news clip that Bishop said that he's seen. Go ahead and play that. Hey, get Sirach chapter 30 and verse 3. But play the video first.
Well, would you look at that? Would you look at that? The time is coming. The time is coming where you can no longer play the right defense or play that lukewarm role or be half in, half out, because you are going to be made to decide where you stand. Because as sure as I'm sitting here, they are pushing to make the Bible illegal by putting a label on it called anti-Semitism.
Hey.
It is now, or will be, if this bill is passed, considered illegal to be a Christian, to be a Bible-believing Christian, because they're trying to say now that it is considered anti-Semitism.
Go back. I never read that before. Go, Bishop, you want to say something?
Nah, I got something I got to bring. I don't even want, hey, listen, because she's talking Christianity.
Yeah, right.
I want to bring out something.
Go ahead.
I just posted something. Go here with the last few seconds. Take this video that I just sent and go to 5113. Now, keep in mind, we come back to this game. It ain't gonna take long to bring my point out. Go on to Telegram. Right? Oh, I didn't send it to you. Damn, I sent it to the wrong. Did I send it to y'all? No, you didn't get it. Dag. Hold it. Hold it. Let me get it on that. Let me get it on that. Bam. Here we go. Go to 51 seconds. 51 minutes and 13 seconds. Watch this here. Now remember, they're trying to. What is this thing saying? They're trying to get rid of the Bible?
Right.
Where's that part at on here? They're trying to get rid. That's what she's talking about, right?
She's talking
about them trying to get rid of the Bible. Notice what I'm about to show you. To show you that the white man is the devil. Yeah, I gotta say it. Gotta get it in there. Play it. Play this here. This is called Goodbye, Uncle Tom. Listen to this clip. And the authors, the people that wrote, the writers that wrote this film, they said that everything in this film that's depicted in this film is accurate and historically true. So there's no lies here. Hit it.
At this point, let me remind you that God condemned to slavery the damned posterity of Canaan in the days of Joshua. God ordained by express statute to Abraham's posterity that they should buy slaves, and decreed that those slaves would be a perpetual inheritance for their children. God recognized Abraham as the owner of slaves he had bought.
As long as they thought the Bible was about them, they held the Bible in high esteem.
Right.
Yep.
That's what they teaching in there.
Yep.
Play on.
Circumcise them. And Jesus ordained that whosoever dared to raise seditious doubts as to the benevolence of the institution of slavery should be cast out and scorned.
All the precious white folks. Keep playing. Keep playing. Look. Look at the black people
at the true nature of the gospel. God decreed by law that slavery be honored and obeyed, being his ordainment. Jesus himself established by law the relation of master and slave.
You see that?
The master must exercise without any weakness his authority over the slave. The master must
So
not
you
hesitate.
know, hold on, stop. So you know what was being taught over them damn dungeons.
Yep.
Right.
This right here was over them damn dungeons, and the same damn thing is going on in these damn churches in this society. The damn dungeons is the damn ghetto, us killing each other, and they got a damn crack house, I mean church, on every block. Play on. Dang.
Take to punish him severely.
Back that up
Whipping
again.
him with
Listen
the
to what he's saying.
But Bishop, he ain't reading John 3:16.
No,
Right.
not at all.
Right.
Not at all. Now the Negro all messed up. Hit it.
relation of master and slave. The master must exercise without any weakness his authority over the slave. The master must not hesitate to punish him severely, whipping him with a number of lashes commensurate to the offense. All this, dear brethren, is made known to us by the recorded language of the Bible.
Look at that.
Slavery is therefore a divine institution.
No hope.
Ordered and sanctioned by
That's
God.
black people sitting in these white churches.
Therefore, with all the authority invested in me by the church, I, Reverend Thornton Stringfellow of the state of Virginia, order you to honor slavery and not to discuss it on the basis of false moral premises.
Okay, you can stop it there.
Not
So,
one Bible verse.
You hear that? But that's how they did it. And as long as we stayed dumb, deaf, and blind, they kept lying on the Bible. Now the Lord is bringing the prophets, bringing the Israelites to bring the truth out, and it's tearing this whole system up. Now all of a sudden they want to get rid of it.
And that's why I wanted to read this scripture, because you hit it right on their head, Bishop. As long as they said they lied and said that the Bible was for them, they fine with all of that. But the moment we start doing things like this, they like, we got to get rid of that thing. Go ahead and read that real quick.
Man, hey, another thing too, because Putin said Christ is black. The damn white man said Christ is black. Put Putin out there, and the damn white people went crazy. The Edomites, they ain't white at all. They're red like the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That did it for them.
That did it for them. Now all of a sudden they want to get rid of the Bible.
Like, mad as hell.
Go ahead, man.
Where we at?
Sirach 30 and verse 3.
Sirach chapter 30, verse 3.
And jump to verse 6.
Yes, sir. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
That's the problem
There
that
you
they
go
have.
right
That's
there.
why they want to get rid of the Bible, because we're going out there and teaching, just like the brother said in the video. We need more teachers out there. We're going out there and teaching who we are and what Christ looked like, what Moses looked like, what
black
the
man.
right? What the Jews look like.
The Jews are black.
Right. Go ahead.
And before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
Go jump to verse 6.
Verse 6. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies.
They can't have that. They can't have us out here building foundations. They can't have us out here controlling the narrative. They can't have that. Read it again.
He left behind him an avenger against his enemies.
Against his what?
His enemies.
His enemies. Read on.
And one that shall requite kindness to his friends.
So that's why they want to get rid of the Bible now. Why they didn't want to get rid of it before?
Right.
When they thought it was for them.
Exactly.
Now I'm sorry, Bishop.
Go ahead.
Now when you realize it's not for you, now we got to make the New Testament illegal and all whatever that said over there.
Right. Psalms 50 and 16. Then we're gonna close it out.
And they never read Exodus 21 and 16 either, did they?
No, they ain't want to read
never
that.
read nothing.
Is it, you got it?
Yes, sir.
The verse read.
Psalms chapter 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked, God saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes?
That's letting you know that the white man holding the Bible ain't supposed to be in his nasty gangrene, syphilis,
Right. Smallpox.
doodle dipped hands. He ain't supposed to have his hands on the Bible.
Right.
Read.
Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth.
Talking about something like they're all sitting in the front row like they're the holy people of God. Read.
Seeing thou hatest instruction.
You hate what the Bible really say. The Bible says that he that stealeth the man that selleth in him, his behind shall be put to damn death.
Right.
Read.
And casteth my words behind
But
thee.
they hide the real justice. How in the world you going to talk about justice and judgment and you standing on stolen property?
All right.
Go ahead.
When thou sawest a thief, thou consentest with him.
You consented with Hernando Cortez, Christopher Columbus.
Right.
You consented with that. You agreed with the thieveries and called it Columbus Day. Go ahead.
And has been a partaker with adulterers.
And you've been partakers with people that raped the women when they came over here. Adultery. You raped the women. These women had husbands. The North American Indian women. Those Gadite women were mothers. You raped them. Go ahead.
Thou givest thy mouth to evil.
You gave your mouth to lies, telling them damn lies to your own people. Lies. And you're supposed to be nowhere near Bible. Read.
And thy tongue frameth deceit.
And you're a damn liar. You framed deceit. Now you want to get rid of the Bible now. You framed deceit. You want to make a law to get rid of the Bible. Read.
Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother.
Where your brother? Jacob is the brother of that damn demon Esau. Read.
Thou slanderest thine own mother's son.
Yeah. Go ahead.
These things hast thou done.
Here it is. These things have you done, Esau.
And I kept silence.
And the Most High kept silent. You took the Bible and you said that your people was the Israelites. Your people were the people of God. Meanwhile, the real Jews are in the back fulfilling Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter.
Right.
Straight up in slavery. Just they're literally in the back of the damn church fulfilling Bible prophecy as the Israelites. Go ahead.
Thou thoughtest that I was altogether...
And you thought the Most High was with you bastards. Yes, you the bastards. I didn't curse either. Bastards is in the Bible. You are not the children of God. Right. Read.
Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself.
You thought that the Most High was with you devils.
Nope.
Holding the Bible up. Go ahead.
But I will reprove thee.
But the Most High going to reprove you and correct you. How? Read.
And set them in...
The same people that you call niggas, he going to set them what?
In order.
He going to set the nation of Israel up in order. Go ahead.
Before thine eyes.
Before your eyes. The
That's
Most High
right.
say he going to set the nation of Israel up. And thank God for that.
That's
All
right.
praise to the Most High. Brothers and sisters, yeah, show that, man. Show that doggone thing.
Yeah.
All praises to the Most High. Brothers and sisters, we say shalom to you. Happy Sabbath. Let them videos roll. Let them pictures roll up as we conclude our series for tonight. Let you brothers and sisters keep the hope that the Most High have in his Bible, because our day of vengeance and our day of deliverance is coming, my brothers and sisters.
That's right.
Happy Sabbath. Keep the faith. Support this truth. Donate to this truth. The Most High is going to do great things for the nation of Israel. Brothers and sisters, we say shalom. Real quick, go ahead.
Don't neglect to give alms. If you want to give alms, you can donate to IUIC.com. IUIC.Gastonia.nc at IsraelUnite.org. That's off PayPal. Also, make sure that you give it to the Booster Club at IUIC.fundraising at IsraelUnite.org.
All praise to the Most High. Okay, all praise to the Most High. The Bible, the Book of Our Fathers. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bible Book of Our Fathers, at Bible Book of Our Fathers. Okay, all praise to the Most High, brothers and sisters. We also ask you that you rate our broadcast. Make sure that our broadcast was on point. You know, we're constantly seeking to always do better in how we bring this truth out to you. So your feedback is what we need. And all praise to the Most High. Thank you for listening, and thank you for tuning in. We love you, Israel. All praise to the Most High. Go ahead. The broadcast team. Oh, they got it now. The broadcasting team. Throw it on up there. We want to thank, first of all, we want to thank the Most High and His Son, Jesus Christ, for putting His Spirit on all our brothers and sisters that help support this program, that help support the endeavors that we do in Israel United in Christ. And in that thanking, we also thank the Most High for putting the Spirit on our officer Gabriel, our officer Israel, Soldier Newbie, Brother Azriel and Brother Josiah. Okay, this is the broadcaster team in Gastonia. They did a great job tonight. So all praise to the Most High. Give yourselves a hand, brothers.
All praise. Good job, fellas. Keep it up.
All
Keep
praise
it up.
to the Most High. So,
yes, sir.
brothers and sisters, we say shalom.
Shalom, Israel.
Most High in Christ bless you. Good night.
Most High in Christ.
Shalom.
bless.
Most High in Christ bless.